Before we get into this video, I have a special request, man. I would love for you. You're coming on YouTube. You're about to watch this video. You need to do the thing, man. It would really help me out, dude. You hit like, you hit subscribe, you continue on and watch the video. Next time I post, you're gonna get a little notification. It's like, bam, Stonie Buds has posted episode 10 or a short or whatever I post. And the real deal is, man, it just helps me so much, dude. I got rookie numbers right now. Just pretty fresh. I'm 9 episodes in, and I need to get the subscribers up, man. I was hoping to get to 3 million by now, and I'm only at 2,700 or something. So long way to go. Big stretch. If you could help me get to like 3K this week, man, it would be so huge, man. So yeah. Let's do the thing. Come in. The water's nice. Let's hang out. Hit like and subscribe. Huge favor, man. It helps me, helps support the show. I'd love to keep doing these, and I got to get these rookie numbers up so I can make this happen. You know what I mean? But anyways, dude. One more thing. If you're listening on audio, another really big thing you can do that helps me out is leave a comment on the Apple player, Spotify, join whatever, hit whatever buttons need to be hit. Do the thing over there too. 5 stars and a comment, man, goes so far, dude. Even if you just hit 5 stars, dude, it all pushes me up. Same with on YouTube, dude. Leaving a comment, hitting the thumbs up. All that helps with the algorithms and helps me get better numbers and supports the show and pushes the program along. I don't even know what it all does, but like I said, I'm trying to get to 3 million subs this week, and I'll be lucky. Maybe we'll get to 3,000. So anyways, dude, let's do this. We're back, dude. MFM, part 2. Mark Frank Montoya. One of the most stylish snowboarders to do it, dude. Picture this guy, dude, just rolling up, doing a freaking 100-foot ollie. Jacket open, no grab. Just wicked style, dude. Arms don't move. I'm claiming the best style out there. Just a boss of all bosses. Let's sit back. Let's get into part 2, episode 9. This is the Boarding House Podcast Studio. You are listening to Stonie's Bud Show. Podcast, YouTube. Do the thing. Let's go. Patrol's trying, but they can't get their asses. Beside we can't let.
Yo, is this
Stonie's Bud, Stonie's Bud, Stonie's Bud.
makes nobody know?
So good, my dog.
Stonie Bud is back.
Let's go. Ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right. Boom.
I'm ready.
Huge episode here today. I got in the studio MFM. Wow, dude. Can't even believe it, dog. This has been a long time coming, bro.
Yeah, man.
And wait, some people might not even know MFM. Or they're like, what is this code? What do we do? Mark Frank Montoya in the booth today.
I'm stoked.
Dude, so stoked. This has been
I'm stoked to see you, man.
Yeah, dude. I think we met in like 93, maybe. And so that's a long time. That's 20 years. Right?
Wow.
Is that math right?
Yeah. Never mind.
Maybe it's 19, 18, whatever. My numbers are off. We've known each other 50 years, bro.
No, I just was saying, like, it makes you sound all old.
Oh, yeah. I've only known this guy. I've known him like 3 weeks. Super dope, dude. Just met him, actually.
Exactly.
I was hitchhiking, and he picked me up. But, yeah, so welcome to the Stonie's Bud Show. This is a good bud of mine, Mark Frank Montoya, and this is the Boarding House Podcast Studio. And who's Mark Frank? Maybe a lot of people are asking. And, I like to pretend maybe nobody's heard of you. Even if you haven't, I feel bad. I guess this is it. This is your education. Every generation, and it's pretty rare, someone special comes out of the mold, comes out of the woodwork. Somebody pops in that, just kind of changes everything. You got your Jamie Lynn's. You got, Terrier pops out. You got Sean Palmer, 1 foot in the half pipe. Man, for me, it was Mark Frank Montoya. This guy right here, man. He, the day I met him, dude, he was ollie in like 6 foot high. This guy has a ponytail down to his butt. I'd never seen anything like it. This guy was like inner city, and I was so used to seeing these people that were in the woods and so polite and so nice, and this guy's yelling and hooting and hollering. And I remember,
I was excited, man.
Dude, I just remember myself and the group of people. I think I was with Twos and just, the crew at Vail, and we're just like, who is this guy, bro? And it turns out, man, we were all going to find out. Mark Frank Montoya went on from there. He started blowing people's minds skateboarding. We actually have a guest question from Whitey McConaughey, Kingpin Production, who said, when he first heard of Mark, it was through skateboarding. And all of a sudden, this skateboarder kind of moved to the snow and slowly kind of caught the attention of people like Whitey and Kelly Flynn. And these guys all make snowboard movies. So you got your Shaun White, he's kind of like the mainstream guy that's doing snowboarding. We got Mark Frank. He's our Shaun White. He got in these movies. He started blowing people's minds. He did it his way. He's spraying skiers. There's no rules. This is Mark Frank Montoya. He gets in the contest scene and he's doing X Games. And I mean, it's like back then riders weren't so specialized. So this guy's in the streets hitting rails, and everyone thought he's from the city. So maybe he's going to be this jibber, but he's just trying to get to the mountains. So next thing we know, we got inner city meets Alaska. Like, what is that, dude? Blowing people's minds. And like I said, every generation, a new person pops up that's going to change the sport. You got Selaznick and those guys that brought skateboarding to our sport. This guy brought, anyone can do it. Like, you don't have to be from Vermont or Vail. You can be from any city. You just got to get up to the mountains and make it happen. And I think he opened up that pathway for a lot of people. And I think we talked about at my old podcast, we always said, who is the Michael Jordan of snowboarding? Dude, I think I found him.
What?
Mark Frank Montoya, dude, you got that. You got the silhouette. You're the guy that brought snowboarding to so many people. You've done something that, like I said, it's a generation. There's a dude, and you're that dude for me, man. And I think for so many other people, we're gonna start putting up some shots. Mark Frank stomping around in the water with that Whitey skid. I mean, he's just doing things.
Thanks to Whitey.
Yeah, thanks to Whitey. I mean,
shout out.
Dude, this guy gets a tour bus. This guy, he moves on to buying hotels. Like he's all of a sudden doing things that no snowboarders have really done. As he breaks the mold and is like, okay, what else can I do? This is great. This isn't gonna last forever, but what's up? So he starts. This guy's got more pro model items than I don't even know, dude. Like,
there was a lot.
Most people just had their boards, they had their bindings. This guy's got pro model everything. I was in France once. I saw him autograph a baby. I don't know if you remember that. He literally autographed a baby, dude.
Hey, they asked.
We go to Japan, and it was like the Beatles. It was like I was traveling with the Beatles. And I kind of, you were coming to the studio, and I was, to me, you're Mark Frank, my bud, dude. We've traveled for like 20 years, and it's like, I didn't even think, like, it's a pretty big deal, dude. You're Mark Frank, dude, and it's having you here is an honor, dude. And like I said,
for me, man, I'm here for you, dog.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You've done so much for me, and the whole crew has done so much for me. I'm so
takes a team, right?
And grateful. Yeah,
it's you were like that dude though that we could count on too, and you went out with dudes that were like just getting started, maybe with Cole, and elevated so many people. So to us, that was huge. Like to have Mark Frank attached, like that's boom. That's nuts,
Yeah. And when you guys say that stuff too, it's half the stuff I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing it.
You were just like, whatever. Okay, I'll be there.
So yeah, I was just trying to do for you what you were doing for me.
Yeah. But you didn't think like, okay, Mark Frank, guest editor of a magazine. Like no one's ever done that, right? Snowboarder magazine, they put him on the cover, not snowboarding. It was the first time that ever happened. Like things like that were going on around this guy. And like I said, he's that new dude in the generation. All of a sudden, I think what it is marketability on top of skill. Like some people have one, some people have the other. boom, you have it all. And the brands that realize that probably made some money because guys like Travis Wood was like looking at you like, and this guy can go talk to any business owner. This guy can talk to any kid. Like it's kind of amazing, and a lot of people don't have that. And I think you broke the mold, recreated it, and
that whole time
changed everything.
Man, I was just coming out of my comfort, like coming out of my shell, really learning how to like forcing myself out of my shell, and trying to step up for everyone else, man. You didn't realize like what was going on? You're just shredding, basically. I started to get a taste. I mean, it was just this gradual build up, and I was just absorbing and sponging up, absorbing all the information and trying to process and keep up and learn at the same time, be open and meet people. And I wasn't like that. So
originally,
it was just such
you weren't
a
like
different
that.
world for where I came from, and it just incremental steps. Yeah, like I was into it all. You guys changed my life,
dude, and you changed ours the day you rode into it.
I'll never forget those days.
Wearing this was the ponytail. His mom actually, Exhibit A. Just imagine him with that. Dude, you should almost get that style going again. That'd be pretty tight.
I was thinking about it.
We could sell these, actually.
I was thinking about it.
You don't have a pro model ponytail, dude. We could clip those on. I don't know. It's just a thought. We'll talk to marketing. Let's see what we could do. You're worth that time, dude. You got a lot to teach people. And a lot of people are walking away from snowboarding with nothing. A lot of people are they're doing it for nothing right now. And where are they going to be when they're 35? What do they got? You know, it's different than when you were around.
You don't think about this stuff when you're younger like that, and so driving over here, I'm thinking about all this stuff and how there's all these like parallel laws of success that I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing it, but one of them is like changing your environment, and I was just like kept changing my environments, going up into a different, better environment.
So they say to change your environment.
Well, yeah, change your environment if it's not working, right? And in the like personal development world, it's like they always say, be the dumbest one in the room. And so you're always kind of stepping into the new room with bigger, smarter, better, whatever. I didn't know that, back then. I didn't know that I had already changed my environment when I found a skateboard and I started meeting all the new friends. Because all my friends were, as soon as high school hit, everybody turned into gang members, every single one of them. They were bloods. But we used to all, before high school hit, we were skating downtown. We'd skate across Colfax Bridge and go downtown. And there was, we'd kind of run into these other skaters, but the homies, I don't want this to sound bad, but it's
dude,
just
I mean,
the
I'd
way
say
it
tell
worked.
it how it is, how it was. Like,
we'd go down
get
there
it
and
out there.
like all the home, we'd just jack their, like, I didn't. We would jack their boards, right? But we were all together. So, but my homies would be like, let me see that board. They'd just punk them for the board. But the more I got down there, I'm like, you start to notice kids, and there was this dude Casey, and like these kids that would come down from the suburbs to skate downtown, and I'm like, damn, they're good. They're like way better than us. Like they're sick. And so I started protecting, like, don't take that dude's board. Don't take
He's
homie's
good.
board.
Don't take that.
Yeah. And then I started making friends. I didn't know what I did when I did that, but I started making new friends. So when everybody
streets were
started
talking.
getting all crazy and like having, shooting at people and, just
It
all
was
the
that
gang
crazy.
shit. I was already meeting new friends downtown and just wanted to go skate and meet up. I knew they were going to be downtown, so I'd go down. And that ended up saving my life. Every single one of my friends went to jail.
No.
And for years, like
Not just small
I
bits
would have
or-
been part of it. I was always there. Some of my best, like, they were more talented than I was. They had more charisma. Dude, some of my best friends, like Jay, would just crack ollies down the project stairs. Like everybody's like, "Damn, the kid's bad." Like I was like, "Damn,"
You guys grew up
he
with
could have
concrete
been
everywhere,
like,
right? I mean, you get good.
well, he was just good at whatever he wanted to be good at, and but people choose different things, so it's these choices you make. So I just wanted to be around good skaters and learn things. And Casey was doing like this, what was it called? Some, handstand, freaking
Ho-ho or something?
Ho-ho. He was good at that. And I was like, yeah, that's
One of
So,
those dudes you're
I was
up in the
making
hello,
friends.
flipping your stuff
Yeah.
around.
So through that dude, I met this Kelly Flynn, who I always talk about.
Yes.
And God put that dude, Kelly Flynn, in my life. I know for sure.
Was he hanging with the gangs?
No, but we all. He had his West Side friends,
Yeah.
and
I mean, you don't have a choice probably as a kid.
nah, it's just an environmental thing, like just young, dumb. That's what you do.
Yeah.
I don't, you can't go all the way into there. It's just endless.
Just a bunch of blood
Stories.
skating around is insane, but it's like, what else
Well,
are they gonna
no,
do?
they weren't like as soon as high school hit, then that's cooler. That's cooler to do that.
Oh, gotcha.
And so everybody split up, and all of a sudden you got my North Side friends over here, the West Side, and everybody's like, warring with each other. And there are some of us that just kept skateboarding. I just kept skateboarding, and that saved my life. God put a skateboard in my life. It saved my life. Through there, I met the dude Kelly Flynn, and so Kelly was like super cool, and he was like all outgoing. I was quiet, I was a quiet guy. And he would like talk. He's just talked to everybody. So we met. I'm like, it's cool, but. And then he's like, "You're good, dude." Like, and he was going. He wanted to learn photography, and he was talking to the companies already. Like he was already sponsored. So he was talking to all these people. I don't talk to anybody. I don't need to talk to anybody. Why I got to talk to anybody? Like that. And he's like, "You could be like sponsored, dude. I'm gonna talk to somebody for you. I'll get you a free board." And I was like, "What? Why?" And then he started giving me a couple boards that other people gave, and then funny, we end up in the same school that I was talking about. This is called Career Education Center for people who weren't going to go to college.
So that was fully random. You guys just ended up there because you both didn't know what you were doing.
That was a photography class that he was taking, which maybe I should have taken, but I ended up in stupid construction class and then mechanics class. I didn't like any of that. I didn't want to do any of that. But I was just there.
Yeah.
Because it was like an offshoot of the school for, whatever. But he started learning photography. So he's like, "Dude, let's take photos. I'm going to take photos of you. You're good. You could do that." He would like kind of push me. "You could do that rail." And then, long story there, because he did that for years. "Dude, I'm telling you, man, you're good. You're good." And I was like, I just always was thinking, I remember this so clear going, yeah, sure. Like thinking in my head, what do you want? Like what, why,
What do you really want from me?
Yeah, because just that's the way you grew up. And man, he believed in me before I believed in myself for sure.
And yesterday we talked about this, and we can I'll probably do a side story on that because we got that. And it sounds to me like there was a time in your life where it could have been a gun put in your hand or a skateboard, and he put the skateboard.
There was guns in my hand.
There was. So it was close. It was that close. Yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to ask.
I don't want people to judge.
I wanted to ask that.
Young, stupid, dumb, whatever. Like
you were there.
But that's real.
Yeah.
And you can, and just I know we would, I know we would justify all the things that we did, but it's so bad. It's so ridiculous.
Real, and it's going on still. More so probably with kids. I can't even imagine what it's probably like.
It's
Denver
so
is
fucking dumb too.
Yeah,
It's
people
so
don't
dumb.
know Denver's a gnarly city, man.
Yeah.
All these big cities, they're gnarly, and these kids.
Well, half the time, half these cities, they're want to be as hard as Compton, so they're even worse and dumber. And they do dumber, crazier stuff. Like my friends were crazy.
And it's
And
more
and
so.
I'll just sit there and go, what? How do you not know, man? That's bad. You can't go around stabbing and shooting at people like that. That's just.
And hence, they're all in jail now, and that could have been you,
Yeah.
dude. It sounds like you were just a sliver away from making the wrong decisions.
Oh, I made a lot of wrong decisions too.
Had
yeah.
you gotten caught on some of them, it could have gone the other way. Huh?
Yeah.
So when you were making that decision, or not even, you were just doing it, I guess, because you liked skateboarding. Did you realize you were pretty good, or you were just whatever, just having?
I wasn't good. No, I remember really clearly. Well, everybody's trying to do their thing or whatever, but man, I would watch the dudes that were good. One of them, his name was Beast, Anthony Crosco. I remember this too. I talk about this all the time, in other worlds where, because I didn't believe in him. I would look at that like it's kind of like how you look at Day One songs. Like you look at them like that. I'll never be that.
Yeah, I can never gonna ollie that.
Like
high.
it's almost hopeless, right? So I remember that feeling because Beast would just. That was his name before before Beast was even a word. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's Beast."
Yeah.
No, like his name was the Beast, and he would crack these huge ollies down big old ledges, stairs, and just so good and smooth and strong. And I remember thinking, downtown at Skyline, I know exactly where it is because I spoke a block away from there a couple months ago to big financial firms and stuff, and I was telling the stories of how we got so much trouble down there.
Dude,
But
did you
I
ever
watched
think you'd be
Beast crack
speaking
this
like
ollie.
that?
I know, and I told him I was like, you wouldn't believe it. Just a block down, guns pointed at our head, like all the crazy. Anyway, so Beast would crack these, and I was just thinking, man, I'll never do that. Like that's crazy. And then like 3-4 years later, I was doing a 180 on the same
Damn.
thing, and I had remembered me feeling like that, and I was like, that's crazy. I used to think I'd never, ever, ever do that. And that's when those little things start happening for you in there. Like once you get some results like that, between Kelly Flynn going, man, I'm telling you, you're good, dude. Look, you're good. You can be sponsored, dude. I'm telling you. And then those little things happening, and then I, long story there, but I found snowboarding, and I wanted to know more. I wanted to okay, that looks like you can go faster and do a 50-foot ollie, not like a 10-foot ollie. And so I wanted to know more about that because I saw it in the magazines. And then my friends had some stolen snowboards that I got a hold of one and all that, and I wanted to know. So then he's like, he wanted to take photos of long story, but we start going and helping each other out, getting to the mountain and all that stuff. He's trying to make these connections with companies to sell him his shots.
And this is before he's making his movies and everything. He's just shooting photos.
No, well, and then he started learning
doing
editing,
both.
and so he wanted to make movies.
Motivated dude.
And I was trying all hard. I was learning, trying all hard. I met the Loveland, and I met the Loveland Posse.
Loveland Posse. That's just a group of some homies that were pretty.
Yeah, Loveland is the closest mountain to Denver, and there was this crew that Kelly Flynn, obviously, he was the one that
You had to meet him, right?
Meets everybody and all outgoing and stuff, and then I would just kind of be there. And so we met, and now I know some free people, so I feel more comfortable going up there, and I'm getting better. And he starts going, man, I'm gonna talk to Aggression and these companies for you, get you a free one. I was like, really? All right, and he just, straight up 5-6 years of just dude, no, I'm telling you, man, you could be pro. And I really start to believe him.
Because
I didn't
telling
believe
you.
him for years. I didn't believe him because I didn't believe in myself. I know that a lot of people don't believe in themselves,
Yes.
but once you do, things change.
And it's a cycle, right? Their parents are telling them they can't do this, they can't do that, and
There's so much bad programming in society and all the just endless stuff that goes on.
have you ever heard the study about the plants?
Yeah.
And they're in water, and if you sit and tell them they can't do this, they can't do that, and swear at them,
Yep.
they die.
Yeah.
You give them love words, and they.
I talk to my food and,
Yeah.
and water and all of it. Yeah.
How that shit is crazy. If that is happening, it's obviously real, and you got your father sitting there telling you you're never going to be anything, you're never going to do anything, and you're going to be that cycle again. So here you are, you weren't listening to them, you're listening to Kelly. It makes sense that you having him around, and he's a rad dude. And so did he get you a sponsor?
Yeah. He got me the first one was Naked Skateboards,
Oh, nice, Naked Skateboards.
Boulder.
Yep.
Because that's Boulder, by Denver, and so he was starting to talk to them, and then there was my first little quarter-page ad was me ollieing over a chair at Mount St. Mary's Glacier.
St. Mary's Glacier. Yep.
And it was called High Gear, and it was these little straps, and he wanted to sell him a photo, and it ended up being me ollieing a chair, and
You're in the mag.
yeah, and then I was hitting some jump at crazy, going way big, out of control on some kicker at Loveland Pass, and some dude that got free boards from aggression was like, "I'm gonna give you a free board." Oh, because he saw me snap my board. I was too big, and I snapped my board in half, and I didn't have a board. And he probably felt bad. I know I was wearing like jeans and his flannel. I didn't have any snowboard gear. I was all long braided hair and all this, just ghetto.
Straight from the streets to the glacier here.
No, none of the right gear. I probably
You
Sorel
didn't
boots.
come
I was
from
rocking
means.
Sorel boots.
You didn't come from means, we could say.
Nothing. I was rocking Sorel boots. And
Not even snowboard boots yet.
Hell
And this
no.
was a time when
No
snowboard
Airwalks.
boots were existing.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that high gear was straps for the Sorel boots to make them tighter.
So you're perfect
to make
for
them
these
into
guys.
snowboard boots, I think. And
That's dope.
anyway, they probably felt bad for me. He's like, "Dude, I'm gonna talk to him," and he did.
And you
I was
got
like,
aboard.
Dang, dude. Just people are nicer in the mountains, man. I swear.
Look out
it's
for
not
each
like
other,
that
huh?
in the deep inner city.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just not. It's not the same.
Which is crazy because when you get people that come from the mountains, they don't even understand it, and I guess they get taken advantage of down in the city then because they're just like, this is crazy. It just sucks that, I mean, people I guess just have, there's a lot at stake, man, and they're in this, they don't have much, so they just take it. And it's a bad way to be. So here you are, man. You're opening your eyes to a new world. What's going on in Denver at that time? Like, is your family seeing you going snowboarding? Are they backing it, or they just don't even care? They're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like any support there?
Yeah. But most not. But my mom, she always supported whatever I wanted to do in the best way she could. You know, she had a little bit of personal development stuff before, and you know, went through hard times, alcoholism and stuff. But at least she knew what not to tell me. This is important. Talk about this all the time too. She, from reading the right books and being in the right environment, you know, like maybe, because this goes on in the sales world or, you know, some of that stuff where you got to get your mindset right? So she had kind of done some of that work. And she knew everything what not to tell me, like, because the average kid, you know, you hear, when you read this stuff is like, you hear the word stop, no, or don't 500,000 times before you're like 4 years old or something.
Damn.
Can you imagine what that
500,000
does to you? Yeah, like some I can't remember the stats,
Well,
but
I'm
it's
sure, dude.
I mean, just over and over again, what you can't do. So she kind of knew. I remember this really clearly, that I'm able to kind of talk about. So when I remember, because it slides into your subconscious, because your subconscious mind is hell, you know, a million times more powerful than your conscious decision making mind and all that. But so, you know, I'd be jumping off rocks or climbing a fence or tree or something. And you know, when there's like adults around, they're talking to each other, watching the kids, right? But the kids are far enough there where they can kind of hear what the adults are saying, and you're not really paying attention, but you kind of are. And she'd always go like this, like, "Look at him, he's so graceful, he's so strong, like a tiger," right? And she'd always say, he's like a tiger." And I because she would do that all the time, I felt like
You'd be like,
that.
"I'm a tiger."
I felt I knew I was stronger than in my mind.
Yeah.
Graceful. I'm like a tiger.
Damn. Instead
Everything
of
I
that
do.
kid that's like,
That's
get
how
out of
I'm-
there, Jimmy. What the fuck are you doing? You know
That's
what
how
I
I
mean?
move, man.
Yeah.
It's
I remember
still
you had
to this
boards with
day.
tigers on it. That's insane. That makes a lot of sense. It also makes a lot of sense now riding around with you. Dude, you're always just leaping off of shit. And like, how big can I ollie? Like, it's insane. And now I guess it's starting to come together a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've been to Anthony Robbins and a lot of mind work where I was able to go back and put that stuff together, you know, and I know what I don't even think she knows what she did.
Really?
I mean, she kind of knew what she was doing, right?
Yeah.
But like,
If I say no,
I don't know
it's a
that
won't.
she knows. That's a huge reason why what I do even today.
Yeah. If you keep telling your kid no, he's not going to do shit. And I think
Yeah,
that's
stop.
such
No,
good
don't
advice.
do that. Don't do this. You shouldn't. It's like,
And that goes
you're
for your
just like,
friends.
you're
That
scared to
goes
do
for
everything.
your wife. That's everything. Like, don't tell them they can't do shit because they can do anything they want.
Yeah.
And that's so important that what you're saying here for people to make sense out of that. That's
Well, they're gonna.
what's sick.
Closest people to you always tell you, even adults, they don't know they're doing it. They're sabotaging, man.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. That's not going to work. Why do you do that? Like all that.
Dude, and I feel like, yeah, your friends or your parents, or the closest people, like you're saying, you show them something you did. they always point out the negative kind of. They always point out what's wrong with it, and then you walk away being like, well, I thought this was dope. Like, why didn't they just say this was dope? And then you're all deflated, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shit, man. So you need to bring these people up, is what you're saying, and that makes a lot of freaking sense.
Yeah, you have to. It's pretty hard to be aware. Negative people and people that do that, they're not aware that they do that. Everybody thinks they're a good person.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to be evil. They're just not. They're not trained. They don't have a trained mind to catch themselves in the red-handed and
Yeah,
be like,
and
okay,
not
you
say
just
it.
said a disempowering thing. That's yeah.
Where they could have been like, dude, this, to give you something positive about it, and then you all walk away happy, and then they're doing you a favor, uplifting you. Yeah. So what do you do when you get these negative people around you in your life now?
You change your environment. You got to get away from them. You got to get if you're aware. So you have to become aware. And the way that I became aware was getting around better people. And once I was around, I was like, whoa, this is way better. Everybody in the mountains is like, give you the shirt off their back. Like, they literally give you the shirt off their back. My friend, one of the first dudes, Taryn, that was like, dude, let me see your snowboard. I'm gonna T-bolt that thing. I was like, why? I don't have any money, dog. Like, he's like, no, I got you. Just come back in 2 days. Like, he's like, for no reason.
For no reason.
That doesn't happen down there. Like, that was so
true.
different. And then once you get around it, you're looking back like, man, that might be toxic back there. Like, it's a whole different, and you become aware.
Yeah.
Right? So you're just, and then you learn to keep doing that.
And you want to pay it forward, huh? Or do you not even realize that?
You do.
Yeah.
But it's, that takes time too, to realize what life is about.
Yeah.
What it's really about.
Dude, I was at a drive-thru. It was probably a year ago. I still remember it. Get up there, order a freaking whole meal, and then the chick's just like, "Yeah, that car in front just paid for everything." And I was just like, "What, dude?" And they said just pay it forward, and it's like that still sticks with me, you know. Mm-hmm. I remember going and doing that at one time too. It's like, whatever they buy, I got it, and that shit is so powerful to do that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And most people don't think that way, and they don't do that. So it's insane if you can, I guess, start making those decisions. But you're this young kid. You're not even thinking that, dude. You're just like, you're not even putting this together
yet. No, but you start to, I wasn't.
You notice
I
maybe
wasn't
these
aware
environments
of it,
better.
but I liked it.
You liked it. It feels good.
It's like, man, I got it. Okay,
I want to be
This is
around
better.
these people.
Yeah.
So when do you move to the mountains? Like, what gets you to make that step? Like.
Long story. I don't know how. Again.
Well, take me through the story, man.
But,
bring me. I haven't lived this life or part of it.
Well, I was a skater, dude. Like.
Yeah, you were. This is actually a question that I'm going to do Whitey's questions as a Patreon blast. Okay. But he has one question. Why didn't you become a pro skater? Because he thought from what he saw, you had the skills.
That's cool, man. Thanks, Whitey. Because I tried, and I just took off to. So I got a sponsor. It was called Basic Skateboards, and I tried to make that move up to California, and it was in LA, but I didn't have any friends except for the owner, and so he let me stay in his house. But
so you actually went there?
Yeah. Whew. I don't know how old I was, but I tried the California thing because they were starting to build that business, and I was going to work there at the same time, but then they were going to give me a pro model after
when
6
you're
months
ready.
or a year of working there and starting to film in California and stuff. And but then my car broke down. I didn't have any money. The company wasn't going to pay me any money yet, and I didn't have any friends. And everybody's busy, man. Everybody's too busy to take me anywhere, and I just didn't have any support. And I ended up tail between my legs, come back, and I kind of quit for a little bit after that, and that's when I started to slide into snowboarding.
You know how old you were when you were out in LA? 18?
19, 20, I think, maybe. Something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Dude, that's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You need a crew. Like, when I moved from the East Coast, I couldn't imagine if I just did that alone.
See, and then I
With
learned a lesson
$500
there.
in the pocket,
Yeah, well, yeah.
If that.
So I go back, and then, all right, and I was kind of disenthused, skateboarding.
Deflated, I guess.
Yeah, but, I don't know.
Keep going. Yeah, you get back. You tail between the legs.
And I kind of quit for a little bit, and then started getting into bad shit to make money. I mean, my friends were doing crazier things than I was, but someone had taught me a couple things as far as jacking things and whatever, and I became this like almost like a master thief. Please don't judge me. It's so ridiculous. And then I started teaching other heads
How to do what you're doing?
The homies. So we had this racket going on, and
Can you tell us what the racket was?
no, just but that's how I would make my money, and it was, you learn things, and but there's such a bad way to, but there's lessons in there. It's like I would watch. I won't name his name, but he had more charisma than I did, and he would just like, we wanted to go to some show one night, and we didn't have any money. He's like, please, come on, go with me. And we took the bus up to the suburbs, and he just like walked down the block. He like, come on. I was like, all right, following, doing what he's telling, and he's like, and we walk in a garage, and he's like, grab these bikes, and we just kind of roll the bikes out and go sell them, and we got a couple $100, and just like that.
Whatever you're doing, whatever you want.
He manifested out of, not in a bad way.
Yeah, whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. Here it is.
Such a bad example, stupid, but
Well,
I was like, man, this guy's
caught.
powerful. He's influential. Like I looked up to him, but I was, I don't know. It's just weird.
It is what it is, man. This people living that life. It's like you can't be scared to talk about what happened and what you did. And
I just always
you
think
don't want
about
to.
this stuff.
You don't want to like obviously tell people like this is what you can do. You're saying there's just lessons in what you went through, and dude, the fact that you're taking these lessons and went and got a better life. Not a lot of people do that, dude.
I think about it stuff all the time. I was like, man, if you so much talent and charisma and sharp, like the ability, the belief to, if you could put that energy into just legit, super dope stuff, it'd be so good. So I knew somehow to, put the energy into some doper. Like
Did you
even
feel like
still right
you were
now.
manifesting before anyone ever talked about that? Like you kind of.
Not me. I was just passionate. I just loved skateboarding.
Yeah.
Everybody quit, and I just loved it, so I kept doing it, and that led me to another group to change my environment.
There's the other part of manifesting that a lot of people don't talk about. It's the work. You got to put in the work. Yeah. That's what makes manifesting work. So you were putting in the work. You were skating.
One of my beliefs now, though, is you can't even call it work if you love what you do, right?
Fact, yeah. So, and I guess I just say work as in you can't just manifest, I'm going to be rich. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You have to have a plan. You have to have action steps. You have to be actively doing it. And then the manifesting all happens from that. It's like a big tornado of action, basically.
Well, when you're really clear on it, that just the money comes as a side effect to how valuable and skilled you become in that area.
And you're enjoying it, so it's not work. Basically.
You can learn some lessons because once I stopped trying to make money skateboarding, and I kind of gave up on it a little bit and started going in other directions, one thing that happened was my friend Doug, shout out to Doug Fletcher, man. This dude knew he was cool. He would give me rides. I didn't have a car. He would hook me up. And then he knew of a mini ramp inside of a warehouse. So I was like, oh, all right, I'll skate again. And we start skating together again. And he was, a new friend that I met. And man, I started hitting the mini ramp a lot. And I was already kind of skilled there. And he's like, man, I know Christian Jose. I'm gonna talk to him for you. I know Dave Duncan. I know Dave Duncan and Jose, and they just started this company, Focus. I'm gonna get you some boards. And then I was like, sick, all right. And then, man, they noticed. I ended up going up to California, and that got me kind of sparked up again. And then I was sliding into snowboarding a little bit. Doug was taking me up to the mountain.
Did you meet Jose?
I was helping Kelly Flynn get to the mountain because I would steal the gas. He had the car, and I was just meeting new people and getting kind of going that direction.
Yeah, heading out of the streets, kind of into like
staying out of trouble, man.
Getting his life.
Staying out of trouble. That was It's such a slight edge.
It's so easy to get caught in that cycle that it just changes your life for the negative. Did you meet Jose?
Hell yeah.
Damn, dude.
Oh man, he's so solid.
Duncan and Jose.
Yeah, they are solid.
And because I remember you with those boards, those Focus boards. Mm-hmm. That's insane. So they sponsored you for a little bit, but you're already moving towards snow.
Yeah.
So
both.
Yeah, there you go. You had already put in the work, I guess. That's crazy, dude.
Snowboarding came a little faster because of all this definitely because of the skateboarding.
Oh, I was gonna say, dude, you never moved to the mountains. You stayed in Denver, huh?
At first, yeah.
Yeah, you were always coming up.
Yeah, I was
I
we
just
was
had that
snowboarding
memory.
on picnic tables in the park in the hood.
In the hood, yeah. So you started to pursue things. For some reason, I was thinking you moved up and lived in Vail and all that with us. You never did. You just
Dude,
came up.
when I met you guys, you were the first crew that I met.
That's so
And
crazy,
I
dude.
stuck just because
Just like
I
that.
I liked
Yeah.
because you were some real heads. Okay,
That's so funny.
you didn't,
remember
I
that
don't
day
think you
so
even knew
clearly.
this. You and Cole and the crew there. Somehow, I think through Kelly Flynn and Rick Anton, these guys.
Yeah.
We
I was shooting
started
with Rick a little bit.
kicking it, and then we were kind of all going to the bar or something. And those, there were some drunk dudes, and they like took a swing at one of us, and we just everybody got in this big old fight, and then the dude was on the ground. Cole kicks him in the face, and I was like, I like that dude.
These guys are all right.
I like this crew. I can get down with them. Like they were like more like me, right? And so that was it. And then we were just, I was stoked.
And I just remember you coming up, like I said, you just blew our minds, dude. Seeing you were so different than what we were used to, but you just had this skill about you, dude. I remember I remember this very, very clearly. You were like ollieing a freaking one of those snow fences, and you did like an ollie tuck knee, dude, from an ollie, dude. And I was just like, what, dude? And it was over a fence, and your whole board goes down. And I was just like, dude. You were like Daewong style. You had this huge hops, and I just remember like, dude, that guy is nuts. And then you ended up showing up at the party or the bar or whatever, because Kelly linked us all up, and then boom, there you are. You were just in our lives. And how did you link up then with Whitey? And it's because of Kelly's video parts maybe that he made with you.
That didn't come till way
later, years later.
Yeah.
So what's those times then building up to that?
So Kelly was doing. He was creating those angles.
What were those? What was his video company?
He's a natural networker. He just talks to everybody, has the angles. He wanted to make a snowboard video, so he was looking for sponsors. So he starts talking to all the sponsors to sponsor his video. So he made that video.
What was the video?
I don't know. It's Roots Productions.
That's what it's Roots
I
Productions.
can't remember the names of the videos.
Dude, what sucks is it's not digital, so it's so hard to find this stuff, dude. I was looking around for some of these old videos, and I'm gonna try to find something. If we can get a hold of him, dude, I'd love to get some of that first video. I mean, how were you looking out there, dude? Were you comparable to like Tarquin and these guys, or you're just
no. I was just
lower level working your way?
Yeah, just working hard for Kelly to get those shots that he wanted or whatever.
Because he showed some belief in you. So
but
you
then
were
it
like,
ended up being pretty dope, And then he's like, "Man, I'm gonna talk to people." And then he starts talking to Trent and Troy Bush.
ooh,
Yeah, man, shout out. And,
that's so sick.
And then Justin was at their booth. He drugged me to some trade show, and he's like the angle, talk to everybody guy. I'm kind of
He
back
was
there
the
like,
team
"Man,
manager."
quiet.
Yeah, Justin. He's
Or
talking
Kelly
Justin
from-
Hostenek he was who makes Absinthe, but back then he was a team manager of Twist Clothing, and so you were kind of shy. I can't even imagine quiet
Yeah.
Marco.
I am. I'm an introvert, man. I have to work on. I had
You
to
push
work
yourself.
on all this stuff. So he introduces me. I'm cool, but I'm like, I'm not gonna self promote or anything. He's like, dude, you gotta talk. And they were so cool, They're so freaking cool, and they wanted to hook me up and helped me get out of my shell because they're so accepting.
Yes.
All of you. And
Well, the Bush brothers, they did that same thing for me too, and Jaw as well.
it's different, man.
I got a guest question from Trent. Might as well pop it up.
All right.
Hey, buds, how you doing? What's going on, Marco? I've known you since you were a scrappy little kid in Denver so many years ago, and over all that time, we've built so many brands and started so many things together and been through so much. And I've always kind of wondered, given your Mexican-American heritage, back then you definitely weren't the typical image of what a pro snowboarder was, which is actually why you fit in with our crew so well. And it's also, I think, why you inspired so many people over all that time. Did you ever feel like that was something you had to overcome to be successful? Or was being different than everybody else an advantage for you? Thanks, man. Later.
Wow. Yeah. Love it.
What a G.
Man,
It's a good question. It's never really come up. People scared to
That
ask
could
you
be a
that.
double-sided question. There got a couple different perspectives on it, I guess, because I was just figuring that stuff out, getting a taste, and what I found was, yeah, people would kind of get a kick out of it, the way I talked, and I don't give a fuck, like talk all crazy, and I knew I wasn't supposed to be up there because, the little goober skiers would like look at you like, the fuck is this? So I didn't have any snow gear. I had like 3 pair of sweats with a baggy pair of jeans. It was all secondhand store stuff, and whatever Kelly Flynn would give me for free. And I was just looking all types of hood, like, and I knew I liked it though. I liked that I wasn't supposed to be up there. And then so some people you could tell they look at you like that, and then some people are stoked, and the snowboard community is so accepting. And they're so nice and nurturing and cool, and they would laugh and get a kick out of it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I didn't realize till way later that that's helpful to be different, and I didn't mind that. And the more uptight that the haters would be, the more that they didn't like me being up there, the worse the worse it was for them, because I loved that. I loved getting like. There's nothing you can do. We're coming up anyway. So then some of the friends, Big Gene and these heads.
Big Gene.
Yeah, he had a crazy. He was big, big in the kind of down. How do I say this? He was a dealing fool, and he had a badass truck, and the thing was like speakers everywhere, just bass, like so loud. We just roll up there. We're rolling up there, and they hated us. Like there's just
you roll the veil like
everybody's
that,
looking
dude?
at you like, what the fuck? And we just get out and just laugh, do it on purpose just to fuck with people, because there's nothing you can do. We're coming up there whether you like it or not. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, that was fun. That made it fun.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm here.
the spraying the skiers thing is so fun, right? Like just. The more uptight they get, the more fun it is.
That's one thing I always really liked about you is just like you were there, you're yourself. You didn't take any shit from the skiers. Even at Vail, just as young snowboarders, they gave you some shit too. They're some rich people up there, and we were all broke, and you did not take shit, man. If a skier looks at you, dude, you're like, what, dude? Like in their face, dude. And I grew up more like if someone does that, you're just kind of like, whatever. And you were just like, nobody's going to give you shit. And I don't know when the skiers started. I think that was more in Utah. But that
was way later.
That was the pinnacle, dude. You mentioned it. So it's like that, you spraying the skiers, I think just so many people love that because it's just, it's what everyone's wanted to do their whole life. And you did it on film, dude. And we'll pop some of those things up. And
I'll never let it leave it. They'll never let it down. But I wasn't doing that yet. It was like actually
That was
fighting
way
and stuff
later.
because the
Dude, I
skiers
seen
were
you-
so mad
dude,
at
I
all the
seen you
snowboard.
fight some skiers.
Well, that clip where there's an old classic clip. Now it's a meme and everything where like the uptight skiers hate it because it was barely legal up there. Like,
Yeah.
they were able to. So they hated them, right? And they would like be swinging their poles or grab their pole and or just throw it out in the woods and just crazy because now it's accepted. We're able to be up there.
Yeah.
You can't stop
it's ours
us.
too. I saw you once like break a pole over a dude. I was just like, this guy, dude.
Oh, one of the funniest ones. It was so funny. They must have thought I was psycho, but I pulled. This is the funniest. You might have been there that day. So how everybody kind of has to merge in line, right? So I wasn't sure the order or whatever, so I just kind of went in there. But I guess this skier was all mad that I had cut him, so he jabbed my board
You're
with
gonna
his pole.
alternate one of those
And
guys.
I spent a lot of time on my sticker job.
check,
He went like that. And I felt it. I was like,
dude.
I was like, did you just poke my board? And he goes, yeah, you shouldn't. And I before he could even say anything, I grabbed that board, or grabbed that pole, and I just like threw it, and then I threw it over the lift and like over the other side, and everybody was like, did he just do that? And I was like, now say something. And then we just get on, and everybody's like, that dude's psycho.
Yeah, they're like, don't
That
talk
was
to
the
him if you
funniest
see
thing
him.
ever. So funny. That was like the best parts.
Dude,
Funny.
yeah, and I've been in several of those situations where those skiers, they think they own the world, dude, and they're hitting you with their poles, and you were the first dude to just be like, go ahead, bro.
Today they call them Karens, right? Like,
they call them Karens.
Okay, you want to play that game? Bye.
They threaten to like fight you, and you would just bam action. And it was, to me, that was like the best thing in the fucking world. Needed to happen. And you just brought a different element, dude, and it was those were some amazing times, dude.
They're fun. So good. So good, my dog.
Yes. Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to put that in, dude. I didn't say that this episode. People expect that, dude. You didn't ask me how I was doing, I don't think. Maybe you did. I don't know. But I'm doing so good, my dog. So good, my dog. See, there it is. So good, my dog. No, just kidding. So you link up with Trent, or Trent, to that question. What about as far as being Mexican? You were the first and only. There's not another Mexican pro. Oh, there's been no, he's Chilean or something.
I don't know.
I don't think there's another straight. You're half Mexican.
Yeah.
Did that ever affect you anyway, or racial's never even a thing? You just Mark Frank.
Nobody. I mean, not that I noticed. Not that they'd say anything to my face.
I mean, you played into it too with your graphics, and I mean, you embraced it. So
yeah.
No, who's gonna say anything?
Later, I
right?
learned to full out. Embrace
That's probably the way. Embrace it.
Have pride in it. I wasn't doing that at first. I was just like, we're up here. What are you gonna do?
We're here.
Yeah.
That's the way to be it, though. I mean, everyone has a right to be in these mountains. You know, it's like.
But it wasn't like nobody. I don't even notice when people are racist or whatever.
I mean, I never felt like it was a thing with you anywhere we went. It's like, it's I don't know. But the mountains are for everybody, and everyone's got to remember that, and don't be scared to go up there, dude. Get up here.
No, I do remember that. Yeah, that helped because I was like, see, when you find a problem and you give it the solution, I didn't know that then, but I did know, man, there needs to be some diversity up here. They were the only ones that looked like this.
Yes.
Right? And they were the only ones that dressed like this. And I know that I look better than some of these goobers in their little
Obermeyer suits.
I was just cracking on all that. That was the gooberest gear ever.
It's insane.
I knew I wanted to make better gear. And so, see, then that got me thinking in those, we're going to start companies
make some
eventually.
stuff.
Like, yeah, so.
I'll tell you what,
we had our own look, and you can make things work like that and look like that without looking like a fucking goober, right?
Yeah, you don't have to look like a goober up here. I've heard many kids. You know, we've worked together through Tech 9 and everything, and you start to hear a common undertone about you is they see you and they're like, he's up there, I can be up there. And I think that's the message that you sent a lot of kids, and that's why I said in the intro, like you're someone that changed snowboarding. You broke that mold of like, oh, I don't belong up there. I can't go up there. You know, I'm a city kid. Like that's not my place. Like that's for people that live in Connecticut that go on vacation and Texans that go on vacation. You showed the world like, no, we're up here too, and kids saw that, and then they went up there, and that's huge, and that's changing the sport. You know, it's opening doors and changing people's lives because all of a sudden now they're gonna feel what you felt.
So I found that out when I started getting letters like that to the magazines. I didn't even know that was like that, or that I had something to do with that.
Yeah.
But these are things that I teach all the time now in the other worlds, right? Like success and mindset and all the coaching and all this stuff. It's because, if you have a dream or you have something you want to do business-wise, success-wise, idea-wise, you need to do it with or without them.
Yes.
Your like some people, because I had friends that I'm like, let's go up. I'm pumped. I want to go up. I'm a chill today. I don't want to name any names. I love you, homies, but they were like, no, we're gonna go to these new friends were like, we're gonna go to the bar for the beach volleyball. They had sand at the bars.
Yeah, they're doing that these days,
or whatever. And I was like, for real? Let's go freaking hike the blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, I'm going anyway, right? And I had to leave them. Sometimes you got to leave.
That's hard, right?
The comfort and it was almost like not painful to leave them. They're still my friends, but that don't mean I have to hang out with them all the time, right? So I had to go either way. And so then later, few years later, with all those letters to they're like, yeah, man, you're the reason I went. You're the reason I go up there now, man. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so you can impact people.
Yeah. And you did, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
That was yeah.
Think of all the people in the cities, and they're just like, there's no way. But then it's like, I mean, it's just like, Tony Hawk does a 720. Oh, I can do a 720. He did a 720. And you were that dude for like, whoa, he got up there. I can get up there. And it's incredible, dude. And you don't know it when you're doing it. Yeah. You just were like, I'm going to do this, dude.
You start to realize how
years go by.
That you make and the ripple effect can impact and influence.
And it works the other way too, it can be negative, so you gotta make sure you take advantage. But yes, so many people, their lives would be so different if they never got up to the mountains, they never snowboarded.
That's why man. I don't want to get into it yet, but like, or we can, but
we can jump all over.
Like, I don't like rap, like half these rappers that promote that bullshit
because it's so negative.
Yeah, nasty ass, low level, like things that freaking young dumb people do, But
the way they glamorize drugs is insane. Because
so sick.
It gets even. I hear that shit, and I'm like, oh, dude, it's okay. They're doing, you know what I mean? It's like they glamorize drugs to a level that it's nuts,
Yeah.
And some of them, some of them don't even do the drugs. They just glamorize it, dude. I think I was reading somewhere, like Future, for instance. He raps about drugs like crazy, and he does do them, but he also quits for a long time when it gets too gnarly, and he'll be completely sober but writing songs about drugs just because that's what people want to hear. That's what sells, and it's crazy. Yeah. And if you don't, then you're like, well, who's this guy that's not talking about drugs?
Yeah, because I'm the most freaking hip hop rapper.
You're a DJ, dude.
All that. And those were my idols and influences, and I thought like that. I rapped it. I was it, and to take the whole journey and be on the, I don't know, man.
And the gangster shit, dude.
I don't think that's gangster at all. Like, I think because what's so gangster about, you had the chance, you're making millions, and then you go back to jail or you promote that nasty ass stuff, like, the gangsters getting out the hood, getting out the thing, facing fears, facing those challenges, like coming out of the comfort zone, getting into a bigger, better world, learning new things, raising up in level, frequency, vibration, like all knowledge, like that's gangster.
Dude, the fact that Buju Banton, he sold more albums, the only dude that sell more albums than Bob Marley, tons of money, just loves dealing drugs. Is in prison. You know what I mean? He went to prison 7 years or something. He didn't have to. Anyways, dude, so you're in Valhalla, the new terrain.
Yep.
I heard that place is like epic.
It was really epic. I mean, we had 3 cats, just 40 people. Justin Hostanek and Brad Albert put it together.
Dude,
Benny was there, Andy Wright, Mike D, Keith Wilson, Whitey. I mean, it was just my brother was there.
And actions molding together. Dude, that's
endless,
insane,
bro.
Dude. What board were you riding? Malibu?
Day one, we did 2 days. The first day I was riding the Space Racer, which is kind of the big swallowtail powder board for
sick.
More wide open spaces and it was super sick. The snow was it's been lacking up there, but it was actually really good. They still got us to great snow. So first day was more wide open because it was more accessible. And that board, I love that board in powder. And then
that's like
day 2,
swallowtail.
It's a swallowtail, but but it still rides kind of like a normal snowboard. It's kind of wild because you're still kind of set on the side.
Pivot, like turn so fast if you need to.
It was super sick. And then second day I rode the Malibu, which is that 55 kind of, it's kind of my daily driver, but because it was a little harder to get to the snow the second day. We were riding trees and chutes and all kinds of stuff, and so it was just it was a little more nimble, a little faster, a little more maneuverable.
Nice.
Insane.
It holds up in that big dog terrain though, huh?
It does. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I rode that thing at Silverton a couple of years ago, same thing, expecting it to be too small, too short, whatever, and because I'm used to bigger boards, and It's incredible. Yeah.
Nowadays they kind of make them that way, huh? So you can ride a shorter board. What size did you say
Yeah,
you were
and
riding?
especially that Moonchild, that Malibu. That's the board I kind of fell in love with 3 years ago. I never hadn't really even heard of them. Met Ure at ISPO just to link up and see what's up. And then they did that Tarquin aggression Tarquin graphic.
Re-release.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Shotgun.
got to be friends with Ure and Marcus. Not the shotgun. This is
Oh,
the year before.
before that.
The
Okay.
year before the shotgun. But we did the graphics for this back in the day. So and for the shotgun. And so we kind of connected with those guys
They
and,
were
and
down
listened to some boards.
to send you a board. They knew who you were from Twist. Huh? Those guys know what's up.
Yeah, and now I've just been riding those things. Like I've been riding Moonchild for 3 years now, and turned all kinds of people onto it. I'm not
It
sponsored.
sounds like you're sponsored, dude.
I'm not sponsored. Middle-aged man with no sponsors, but
It sounds like
which is a great way to go because then you can ride what you want.
That's true. You can ride what you want, which it makes
Yeah,
it
no,
means
seriously.
that much more, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll maybe ride other things sometimes, but this is what I've been riding literally the last 3 years solid.
Dude.
Love it.
And it's amazing that you're still making it to places like Valhalla and 40 people deep, dude. I'm so jealous I wasn't there. That sounds like the trip of a lifetime.
Well, we're going to get in 2 years,
That's
right?
what I heard.
Every
You
2
guys are
years.
like
So
already signed back up, huh?
we're going to sign back up. You're going to be on that
Dude,
trip.
I have to. I can't miss. That sounds like
No,
too
for
good
sure.
too good to be
100%.
true, dude.
Yeah.
How the lodging dope at that new spot?
Yeah, it's actually you stay in Nelson.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, totally.
You don't have to
So
tell
yeah,
me in the bald face, huh? You just go.
Yeah, you don't have to hell in. You don't have to do any of that. Yeah, it was great.
Dope brand, good people that are passionate about snowboarding, just like you and I are. And it's funny, they originally, one of the shapers and creators of the brand made this board behind me, the Malibu, for his cousin, I think, and just wanted to make him a cool custom shape. So he made this board, and it turns out people were just loving it. Everyone who got on it loved this board. So they were like, we're putting this in the line, and it became the Malibu. They submitted that to White Line's board review for 2023-24. This bad boy won one of the top freeride boards of the year, and that's huge. You're going in the ring against, the biggest companies out there with Burton and Nitro and Solomon, these guys who have years and years and years of R&D down, and they've kind of perfected the science. Capita's got the mothership, dude, and all these guys rightfully also have boards in that category that have won awards. But to sit neck and neck with them is a big deal, and it just goes to show that this board rips. And if you're looking for a new board, the Malibu is the board you're going to want to grab. Grab one. You will not be sorry. This board, just look at the shape, man. This board just wants to go. Get that thing in some powder, and you're going to have one of those days you're never going to forget. Check it out, man. I wouldn't steer you wrong. These boards are made top quality by top quality people, and it doesn't get any better than that, man. Support these guys on the come up, man, because they got big things coming in the future. But the Malibu's where it's at right now. Trent Bush and them, did they end up putting you on Twist at that point?
Yeah.
Was that your first clothing sponsor?
Well, no, they just were giving me stuff at that time, but man, the stuff was so good.
Their stuff was good then, huh?
Puffy. There was some gangster looking puffy
The
coats,
materials.
like, all that is just so good.
Or you were on Titan, not Twist, huh?
That's when I really got put on.
That
Like
was
for like
was
more
a
on a
real
more
deal.
serious level was that, and that was after I had been jumped on World Industries.
So is that your first big sponsor, World?
Yeah. So it's a
Sluggo?
crazy story.
Sluggo and the boys? Like, what are we talking, dude? World, that was
That's a
pretty
crazy
cool.
story though, because so we were up in Vail, we were getting good, sponsored, right, and then Shot Snowboards comes on the scene,
Shot, that's right.
and up and coming company, and they hooked
You and
me and Jason King,
Yep, Jason
right?
King, Style King.
Style
Dude,
King,
he's sick, dude.
and so we're up there doing the thing, and they offered us like pro models, which we didn't. I don't think we were
Quite ready?
ready for that. Like we weren't that good. But then because they made a couple with our names on it, I know I had one with my name on it. they hadn't gone to production. Just I had a couple prototypes with my name on it, so that's a real pro model right there, right?
Yeah.
So they go out of business,
I wish you still had that.
and then we're kind of sitting there with nothing, and but then Kelly Flynn starts talking, and he heard, World Industries was going to launch snowboards or whatever, so they wanted. There was some talks. I went up there, and they asked me. There was a round table. And the uppers come in, the executives or what they're not executives, but like the boss kind of, and they're like, so talking, and then he goes, so he said, he asked something, and so do you already have a pro model? And I was like, yeah,
I do. Here it is. I can show it to you.
Yep. And he's like, all right, so what kind of money were we thinking? And I just kind of threw out like a higher number.
You got to, right?
Yeah, and then they came up with a lower number, and I was like, all right, yeah. And that because of that pro model that never came out, I've got a good sponsor that was willing to pay money.
Dude, that is insane.
They liked me because I skated and all that.
Well, I was
stuff.
going to say,
down.
they probably didn't even know much about snowboarding.
Oh yeah, everybody else, Sluggo and Sean Johnson was like, who's this dude?
Yeah,
I haven't even heard of this dude.
Like,
He's gonna-
you sure? You sure you had a pro model?
Yeah.
But then I bet they met you. And they were
Yeah, I
like,
had to pay my.
all right.
Yeah. I mean, I had to
Dude,
step up.
That was cool, dude. I remember when you got that sponsor, it was just like, damn, dude, that's sick. Because it was like
That
some
was
new
sick.
cool thing.
That was.
And yeah, it was definitely dope.
I'll never forget that. My first paycheck, I got my first turntable.
Really?
Well,
Technique.
So there was only enough money for one turntable.
You had to slowly
So,
do it.
Yeah, and then I didn't have the mixer yet. So next,
Was that your first like paycheck?
yeah,
Damn.
I think it was $800, $800 or $1,200, $800.
Dude, kid from Denver, like you must have been tripping, dude. Like, all right, there is.
That was it.
There's
That
sun.
was like, I know my way out now. This is my out. I'm out.
Keep doing this,
That was my. Yeah.
and then that's
That-
when I
that
imagine
was
your
my-
video
I
parts
knew
got sicker.
snowboarding was
sicker.
my way out.
dude. And it was, and it is. Look at you, companies, houses. Carlsbad surfing. The kid surfs now.
Yeah.
Kids in the water now, dude. Dude, that's so sick. And you, here you were. So what was your move then? It's your way out. What do you do?
Make it worth it. Whatever I was at any time, wherever anybody willing to pay me, I was going to do 10 times worth it. Whatever they did. And
Whatever they
that
needed.
ended up, working out.
Yeah, because I feel like you did always go above and beyond for your companies. You were always down to, all right, what do we need? Like, you have some people that are like, hey, we need you to be at this shoot for, it was maybe somewhere you didn't want to be, some lifestyle shoot or something. And some of them don't go, or they're just not team players.
Whenever I'd hear that, I'm like,
Yeah.
how?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that concept.
Yeah, you were always down, and it makes a difference. And I think brands see that, and they're just like, all right, this guy, he knows what he's doing, And like I said in the intro, you can talk to a shop owner.
Just always make sure
like a
you're
smart
worth
person.
more than they're paying. Always.
Be worth more so they keep the checks coming. And keep those checks coming because it is what a way to get paid, snowboarding, traveling the world. And I mean, you probably hadn't even left Colorado much, California, Colorado. And soon you'll be this world traveling dude signing babies in France.
So we were in Vail. I got to shout out Frank Stringfellow.
Yeah, Frank.
Because I thought, okay, I'm getting better. Like I'm learning, because, man, Todd Richards and those guys are ripping Vail and they're, man,
Todd was owning that place.
owning. And he was cool too, like, but I remember like we were just kind of hitting side things, and he flies almost over us, crazy misty flip or something, and gets down to the lift, and then we get down there. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Marco?" And I'm like, "Oh man, cool, he's cool." But so we were like, see, I didn't know, but I had changed my environment. So now I'm up in Vail, and I'm around really good snowboarders, so it makes you push yourself higher. Right?
Yeah.
You got just to be around and you're in the environment. You're in it, so you're pushing. So I'm getting better, faster. And then Frank goes, I was like, this is all right. You don't know Utah. You haven't seen Utah. I should show you Utah. And so, all right. He's like, no, it's serious. Let's go. Yeah, it's gonna snow this weekend. He had a little Volkswagen Rabbit.
Frank did.
Yeah, we packed in there. I don't know how. Like, he must have just let me roll because I didn't have any money.
That's sick.
And we go up there and check that out.
Two of you guys?
And we caught Snowbird. Yeah, just me and Frank. And we caught Snowbird on a powder week, like feet and feet of powder. And these dudes were like just hitting those like the cat tracks, just
like you've always wanted, right?
I had never even seen anything like that much powder, and just you can go as far as you want and just tumble, get up laughing. It was like, and I was like,
I've seen
I
you
gotta
go like
be
100
here.
feet off those cat tracks due to some of those things.
Yeah, and I was learning, getting their awareness, but I was like, I got to be here. I got to be here. So I figured out, and again, change my environment, like be willing to get to the next, push, because I didn't know anybody. So I'm kind of somehow found out that Sean Boyle. And,
the sergeant.
Yeah,
Bad lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Bad lieutenant.
And those guys, Micah and Justice, they let me move with them because Sean had some Colorado ties, and he's like, yeah, dude, and they're so freaking cool. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. And that was the best year. I'll never forget that. Those are the best times, just riding powder, and I was my freshly sponsored, so I didn't have to worry too much about money, and I learned so much and got so much air awareness, just huge cat tracks, and you're starting to go into
all snowbird,
like another level of knowing, like flow and all that. I remember, I know what flow is.
Yeah,
from that
flow or flow state or
flow
all
state.
of it, just flow state, like being in that.
I was
like
going into that.
You were going deep.
The next few years after that.
I remember I called you at one point, and you're like, dude, you guys are blowing it up at Vail. Like, you need to get out here. And I remember I came right out, and I stayed on your guys' couch, and then we all got a place, and those guys were awesome, first of all, Justice and Lieutenant. But yeah, this place was mind-blowing, dude. Like, the realness once you get to Utah from coming from the East Coast, and then E-Tree was actually here a couple weeks ago, and he said that Colorado is basically the East Coast of the West Coast. You know what I mean? Because the mountains are just they're East Coast mountains, really, and Park City is really kind of the same. And then you get to Snowbird, and you're just like, wow, what's up, dude? It's like being in Europe almost. It's steep, it's rocky, the bombs are going off. It's an experience your first time. It's like a life-changing experience. You're just like, this is some shit. I remember the first bombs, like you like jumping and shit. You're just like, what is going on up here, dude?
Yeah, so good.
It's sick. And so that kind of, I guess, fine-tuned your shredding, huh?
Yeah, that's a different level for sure. And so, as much as possible going up there.
You got to pass, I'm guessing.
Bigger, faster. Oh, so good.
High-speed Rizzo.
Yep.
And then when it's not a powder day, you're like, it's hard up there, dude. It's like you got to like work hard to get. I mean, you still have an awesome day, but it's tough up there when it's not a powder day because that's just a real mountain. Yeah. I couldn't imagine like bringing your family up there that's not experienced. You know what I mean?
I made that mistake actually of bringing some of the Denver homies to Snowbird. And
they hadn't ridden?
And taking them on the stuff that we rode, and they almost died. Like, I almost killed my friends.
I was gonna say, dude, it's gnarly, dude. Oh, you were like, yeah, we're gonna cut over here, and you get to a place you don't realize that all of a sudden it's cliff out scenario.
Level,
yeah,
and we're already had slipped down the rope and just
there's no way out.
There's no way out. You got to go down. And
you have to jump. There's a mandatory 10-foot cliff. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And they're just like, dude, I'm just learning.
I was so scared for them. Yeah. I super fucked up that day.
They survived, dude. They either quit snowboarding or got better. You know, that's what
they got a little bit hurt, but it's still a funny story. Yeah.
Got a very special product to talk to you about today. Very serious product. Something that you're only going to want to wear to church and probably to school, maybe on an airplane. Fart Boys International. Woo! Love wearing this gear. No matter where I go, people have something to say about it, and it's all good things. People love it. People enjoy seeing it. They get a laugh about it. Good homie who's doing it. He has only the best intentions. He just loves snowboarding, and he wants the people that get it to get it. You know what I mean? And I actually have a bet with him going that if he did a pretty small ad buy, I bet him or else I think I have to pay for it. I don't know. Did we say that? I don't know if we said that. I made a bet that you guys would buy enough of the merch to cover the small amount that I charge them for an ad, just to prove this point. So we'll see what's up. And to help make it happen, it's there's going to be a discount, 15%. It's going to be Stonie Buds 15 at checkout. We'll get you 15% off. Fart Boys International. Homie makes the sickest gear, that just funny ass t-shirts, bright ass sweatshirts, just fun stuff. And they all say Fart Boys International loud and proud, or at least Fart Boys. Always coming out with cool new stuff. He's got some mugs. He's got all sorts of stuff, stickers. His packaging's insane. It comes in like a baggie, like you just bought some drugs or something. So it's all in the name of fun. It's all in the people that get it are gonna get it. And oddly enough, there's people that don't get it, and that's even more fun too, because when they see it, it's like sick. You don't get it, so get it. Go out and get it, man. Fart Boys, that's the people. Stonie's Buds 15, that's a discount. Let's go. If you want to support the show, man, Patreon is huge, man. Anybody who is down to join up, we got $5 programs that is just like you get a sticker pack and you're saying, hey, I support you guys. You can pay monthly, you can pay all at once for the year. And what it does is just supports the show, keeps the lights on, keeps me going. I have an editor now, Kenny, who's helping me rip these out, and that's helping me get back on a schedule where we can put these out once a week. And he's dope, man. I'd like to be able to throw some cheddar biscuits, like pile them up for him and just let him rip and edit. And in order to do this, man, it's support that keeps the lights on. If you enjoy the show, if you like what we're doing, it's like NPR, dude. They need money to keep rolling. This all takes some cash too. I'd love to keep bringing it to you. So hopefully the people who are supporting me, man, thank you so much, dude. Like, supporting early like this is huge. But Patreon has tiers from $5 all the way up to $150. I'll basically pass on all my skills I've learned in photography and running a board company, working with magazines. You want to get your foot in the door, have a mentor. I'll get on the phone. We'll talk. We'll go over strategy. I'll pass on what info I can, whether you're trying to be a photographer, whether you're trying to start a brand, whether you have a brand going. Maybe you just want to talk to the kid. I don't know. But either way, dude, that's top tier. Limited amount of people can get in there. I think there's a couple signed up, or maybe one. Chris Noyes, what's up, dog? Love your support. But yeah, let's get some more heads in there, man. I promise I'll make it worth your while, dude. In the middle of the road, I think $25 a month. We got the Know Me Buds Mug Club, and Know Me Mugs is you get one a month, and there's fresh ones coming out, dude. You're gonna get those. You're gonna end up with a dope collection on your hands. But yeah, man, you're gonna get the inside track on what guests are coming in. You're going to be able to ask guest questions. You're going to be able to get deals on merch. You're going to be able to get, just whatever I can do, dude. You're part of the crew. The Patreon peeps get the episodes early, so you can be in the know before everybody knows what's up. Be like, I already seen that. That's old, dude. You haven't seen that yet? So Patreon, man, much love, man. Anyone who signs up, dude, I really appreciate it. Dude, we got merch now. www.stoniesbuds.com. Signed prints of the guests each week, and they're high quality, museum quality, archival prints, dude, that are gonna look very nice, and they're autographed by the guests. We got T-shirts, we got beanies, we got hoodies. I got a hoodie right now. Caps, bags, sticker packs, dude. Anything you buy on there supports the site. I hope to get a bigger crew going behind the site or behind the podcast, and every piece of merch you buy just pushes us a step further. We'll be pumping out orders and getting you everything that you order up front and quickly. And like I said, it just helps the site, dude. www.stoniesbuds.com. get that merch, get those prints, man, get the collection of prints, dude, autographed by MFM. We still actually, Kenny, do me a favor, pop those MFM prints on the screen. I think you got them. There's one in Japan. There's only like 4 of those left, but I think there's like 10 of the Estonia bridge prints. So very limited amount of prints. Get them while you can, but they're autographed by the boss, MFM. But yeah, stoniesbuds.com. Get that merch. Support the show. Thank you. Boom. Nomi mugs, man. What's up? There's a gnome over my shoulder watching me, making sure I do this right. These gnomes can be ruthless, dude. The gnomes are brutal. But luckily, they're on my crew. These gnomes actually make these mugs. They are made for gnomes, by gnomes, and it's Nomi mugs, dude. It's me paying homage to, this is actually my mug, the Nomi Mugs media mug, holding the camera, riding a spring break board. I also got, this is me representing Deadlong on the weed board. J2, boom, in that Prison County orange. But, hang out with your boys, sip on some coffee, sip on whatever you're sipping on, talk snowboarding, talk culture, talk about what era that mug's from, what video part Deadlong was riding that board in or wearing that fit. And, it's culture, dude. I couldn't afford a board collection, but I could afford a mug collection. So I decided, dude, let's do this. Let's make Nomi mugs, and we got some new ones on the way soon. So I'm excited to break those out to y'all. But Nomi mugs, there's a Nomi of the Month Club on Patreon. But get a mug, dude. There's 3 sizes. They go from $16 to $24 for a 20-ounce coffee mug for the big dog coffee drinkers. They are a great way to represent snowboard culture and give you something to talk about. That is going to be found at, you can buy them at the www.stoniesbuds.com, so at my merch site, and you can also get them at www.e-stonephoto.com. Kenny's going to pop those websites up so you can see them. Mugs are available. Jump on them, get one, get some of these board art in your crib. Get these iconic riders fits in your crib. These are all like actual fits that the riders wore in some of the best highlights of their career. So get them, support snowboard culture, support the show. Nomi mugs, thank you. Stonie Buds Print Shop, man. This site is holding about 25 years worth of my snowboarding photography, featuring photos from, 2.5 decades of snowboarding, man. Things have changed so much throughout those years, so it's fun to look at the photos. You can see when the gaps were huge, when style was on point, and it's all documented, and it's interesting. You need to get some flavor in your life and some art on your walls. It's been proven that 100% of people who take the time to put art on their walls is happier than the people that don't. 100%. There's a Harvard study that I just fabricated for your benefit of getting you to add these prints to your walls. A Harvard study that I made up. But shit, man, I'm saying it's true, dude. Get this stuff on your walls, dude. Friends are going to come over. You got something to talk about. Riders doing insane things that, man, I never thought were going to be possible in a snowboard, man. You got some legendary moments, dude. Iconic shit going down. And something pretty cool, dude. These prints are the closest you can get to real process photos, and it really shows in the final product that I use. And I've actually researched photo labs all over the world so that, if you live in Japan, you live in Australia, New Zealand, you don't have to pay like $50 for me to ship something to you. You actually are going to pay the same in shipping that someone in America pays, because I have a lab in Japan. I have a lab in Australia. I have labs in Canada, Europe, the UK. I got you all covered, so shipping's going to be cheap. The time you're going to get them in is going to be cheap, but most of all, they all use the same Chromira Pro lab print process, and it's real photographic C prints, conventional wet process. They're exposed with light then developed with chemicals, so the prints are completely continuous tone with no dots at all, like you see in a cheaper print. If you look at a cheaper print up close, you can see the dots from the printer. These, you do not see that. It looks like an actual photo. Chimera's 300 ppi working resolution is the highest standard image resolution in the industry. To attain even higher image quality, Chimera uses ZBE's patented resolution enhancement technology, which achieves a visual resolution of 425 ppi. Blah, 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 blah. Do you even care? I don't think so. Either do I. All I care is that it looks good. And I believe that the Harvard study is going to make people happy. That's all I care about. So let's get the prints on your wall. Go to www.e-stonephoto.com. Let's put art on those walls. And I'll let you know that every piece of art that goes up in a wall in some city like NYC, some huge freaking print going out to some loft in NYC, or a little 8x12 going to a dorm in Texas or Oklahoma or Serbia, wherever it's going to go. That shit makes me happy, man, knowing that my prints are on these walls. That's really cool. I appreciate everyone who's bought a print. Thank you. So, yeah, www.e-stonephoto.com. Bam. Dude, new player to the scene, and I'm stoked about that. We got Booger Reds Wax. What up now, dude? We got the boogies in there, too, dude. It's a nose. Giant nose, dude. I don't know if you guys remember the Humpty Dance video back in the day. Just kidding. That's probably more like it, dude. Little guys. But anyways, dude, wax. Do you guys wax your board? Because I'll tell you what. You don't want to be that slow guy back of the pack, man. You let's say it goes from a cold day to a warm day or vice versa. Conditions change. Your board gets beat up after a big session. And you're that dude that doesn't take care of it. You go into a new season, you got dust on it. You're right up at Mount Hood, you get oil on your base. You get weird stuff happens. And there's nothing worse than that guy. I know from shooting photos, there's nothing worse than that guy on a trip who can't hit the features as good as the next guy because their board isn't fast enough. And dude, you guys, you pay a lot of money for your lift tickets. You pay a lot of money for your passes, your equipment. Don't have your day be ruined because you're not taking care of your equipment, dude. Wax, dude. This bad boy's $2.50 on the website. And I'm about to give you a 10% off code at the end of this ad. I'll give it to you right now. Stonie Buds 10. 10% off. Stonie Buds 10. Capital S. And that looks like about it. Capital S, Stonie Buds 10. 10% off. This is $2.50. Or get the shop package. You get 2 of these bad boys. I believe that's $20. You can also get a pack of like 10 of these or 20 or something. But go to the website and check it out. But don't be that slow dude. Wax your boys' boards. Get the big kit. Get the little kit. Get a bunch of them, though. You're going to want them. Once you wax up, you're going to want to stay waxed up. And wax every night, dude. Be that fast dude. Be that dude known for speed. But anyways, hashtag slick as Stonie Bud Snot. And post a photo of a nose and a funny scenario. I don't know. Be creative, dude. Just post some noses in random spots. I'm going to pick a winner, dude. And that winner is going to get a package from me. And trust me, it's going to be worth a lot more than the $2.50. Or the $20 for the double pack. It's going to be well worth it. So I'll pick a winner, say, in a month. That gives you time to order your noses and get busy, dude. Get creative. And let's see who wins. Hashtag. Let's get it again. Hashtag slick as Stonie Bud Snot. I like that. And my snot, I don't know. I don't. Yeah. Stick as Stonie Bud Snot. Yeah, let's do this, dude. But stoked to get the support from Booger Reds Wax, and thanks for coming on board for this MFM episode. Everybody, get this stuff bought. Show these guys that coming on board with an ad is well worth it. And let's go, man. DIY brand. Start your own brand like these guys, dude. Build it out of the garage. That's that real shit. Anyways, thank y'all. Peace.
So I just wanted to learn everything. Like,
it started with Rich Dad, Poor
marketing.
Dad, right?
No, that came after. I
did?
was already kind of reading the books and.
You read every one you can get, or what?
On the subject that I'm going after next. There's a book on everything.
Yes.
And
But what if there's some dude who just put it together that doesn't really know what's up? You just kind of like look through it, and this guy's good at what he does, and so I'm gonna look
for
at
the
what he
best.
does.
Yeah, as Anthony Robbins calls it, modeling. Okay, whoever's the best in that area, you model them. You study them. How do they move? What do they know? You do the same things, get the same results.
That's what he calls it. Sick,
Modeling.
dude.
Yeah.
Because there are so many. You'll find some new thing that's dope, and there'll be 100 people doing it, and all of them are putting out books, and so it gets a little crazy and a little intimidating. So it's that's really sick. Find the dude. What do? You Google it. You just look around. You know the space.
Yeah, see, and that's part of, when I moved up to Vail and got around it, right? You got to make moves. When I moved back up, then I moved again. I moved into Utah.
Yeah.
Not think about it. Not find a way.
You were modeling without
That's out
knowing
of
you
the
were
comfort
modeling.
zone, right?
Yeah.
That's out of you got to get out of your comfort zone. Be comfortable with getting uncomfortable. So I constantly wanting to do that. Get in a new environment, whatever area I want to be good at. I got to move myself into it.
Be
envelop.
comfortable by not being comfortable. What'd you say? How'd you say? Be comfortable by not being comfortable.
No,
Or
get comfortable
get comfortable.
with being uncomfortable.
Because that's when you get the most growth.
Yeah.
When you're uncomfortable, you're around things you're not used to. If
making
you hang out with the
yourself
same 4 dudes every day, it's like that dude who you grab their iPod 10 years later and they're listening to the same song you saw them the last time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any names, but there's some people that are like that, and you're just like, whoa, dude, that song's
Yeah.
still dope, yes. But let's listen to some new shit. But it's like, yeah, you got to like expand your horizons and.
Yeah, I always I want to know the new shit. That's exactly it. Like I wanted to, because once I knew, I heard the whole concepts of freedom and financial freedom, and I already couldn't work for anybody. Are we talking already?
Yeah, just whatever. Personally, on these things, I don't like to go like, and no, I was here and there, and 3 years later, I was here. I like to just talk, because it's like, you get shit done.
All right.
And if these things are going to be segmented, we got a lot of your storyline. I think maybe we end each half hour with talking about some biz shit just to see where you're at, or what we're talking, just see what's up, see if people can learn from it or they cannot learn from it. But I find it interesting, dude. I mean, I'm always interested in shit going on and learning too. Learning's fun, dude.
Well, so everybody that as I'd change the environment, I'd meet the new people in that environment, and then I was so curious. I go, man, look at he's stoked and he's getting results, and man, I want to know more. I want to know, So you're always trying to kind of push into new areas.
And how do you meet these people in this environment? Just by going to things where people are talking, or just doing research, or
and people will talk about what they love, because not everybody loves a certain everybody loves something different, right? So, and they light up when they get to talk about it. That's where people go wrong. They don't ask, because if you go talk to a really successful person, which most people don't think, and it's like maybe uncomfortable, it's out of the comfort zone, or they think, oh, they're not going to. No, they love talking about what they did and how they did it and what they do. They'd light up.
Yeah, how they did it.
So I'd start, asking questions and reading the books and wanting to know. But that's why they write the books. And then, man, so I didn't used to really know a lot of millionaires and all that stuff. So I had to meet them in books and learn them.
Hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
And when you meet them, are they chill dudes or what?
They're so sick.
They put a lot of time into this stuff.
They're just, I don't know. They're, if you're into snowboarding, you like talking about it. You get around them, and you get around people that are into the same thing that you're into.
This is their
and
passion.
Everybody's lit up, and you're talking about it. It's fun.
Especially when they had a success, and like they can tell you about their success. Huh?
Yeah, they have no problem telling you.
And I think a lot of people, their problem is, okay, I got nothing. How do I start with nothing, and try to find some semblance of success? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Or I'm paycheck to paycheck, or like end of the month, here I am. I paid my bills. I'm left. I don't have any more money. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest problem for people. You know what I mean?
You really want me to?
I mean, dude, I would love to hear about it personally.
It's not in the snowboarding
That's fine, dude.
thing, but
People come here for life too. It's everything.
well, so these are language patterns. You know, we're deep in patterns, like, and when you're able to interrupt patterns, that's helpful. You know, so we're not. Most people are not aware that they're. You know, when you talk to yourself and you're like
Your inner
literally
dialogue.
yeah, right. And people are like, you have this
You
voice.
beat yourself.
You can even hear yourself in your own voice. You're
Yeah.
like, what voice? That voice.
Yeah.
You're just saying things over and over with this belief that you got from back when you were a kid or whatever. And most people are not aware of their own language patterns. And so if, you know, whatever you focus on expands, right? And so one of the favorite things that I like to show people and make them aware of is our brain is not aware of negative. It's not aware of, if I tell you right now, like, all right, dude, don't think of your feet in the sand at a warm, you know, on the beach.
I'm thinking about my feet in sand in the warm beach.
Automatically did it.
Yeah.
It doesn't understand the negative. It's just going to do it anyway. So if you go, and then there's other things like your reticular activating mechanism, the REM, in the back of your mind, you know, and your subconscious and stuff, where it's there to amplify things, and then your ego is there to make you right no matter what, right? So if you say, oh, well, I don't have any money, well, your subconscious, your ego that always wants, because do you like to be wrong?
Never. I'm never wrong.
Nobody likes to be wrong. So your subconscious is there making you right, and it's like, yeah, and you know, you don't have this, and you're also too old to do, or you're too young, or it's just going to come up with all these reasons why you're right?
Yeah.
And so if you say, you know, oh, I don't have this, or I don't have that, you know, you're focused on that. But it's a language pattern. If you were to change the language pattern, say, you know, like give your brain an empowering question to answer, like, well, yeah, but how could I come up with the money? Then it'll answer that and say, well, you could go do this. You could sell that bike in your garage. You can go work for this. You can go get resourceful, you know, all that. And it'll start answering. But you have to know and be aware of how to ask the empowering question that'll put your mind to work. If you just say, oh, I'm so broke, I don't have, why don't I have anything?
Yeah,
That's
and there's no
disempowering.
way.
And it'll give you the reasons why you know. So you have to become aware. I always say, you know, it's not that you're successful or not, it's that you have a trained mind or not.
Yes.
To be able to see those kind of things. Like the REM, they always talk about in the self-development world, they talk about this reticular activating mechanism where, like, you know, when you're driving and, like, what kind of car do you have right now?
I got a Subaru Forester.
So before you got that car, did you even notice those cars before?
Oh, yes, dude. I talk about this all the time to my engine. Dude, I see them everywhere. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, now that you got it. Right?
Every
You're like,
stop sign, you'll be
I
like,
mean,
there's
it
four of
won't
them.
even be in your, and you'll see it, and you're like, oh, there's one, oh, there's
Yeah.
another. But before you got that car, they weren't even anywhere,
I swear it's the most popular car in Salt Lake.
right? That's that. It's, see, whatever you focus on expands. Whatever, you know, right? Whatever you,
Dude, so it's not really, there's not more of them. It's not the most popular car in Salt Lake. I'm just noticing it now because it's something I focus on.
yeah. And so if you focus on I'm so broke or whatever, then what's gonna expand?
The brokenness.
Right?
Yeah.
And or like,
And there's no way.
when I'm coaching somebody, or if I, like, you know, start having a conversation going a little bit deeper, I'm like, okay, yeah, but like, and I try to guide their mind, like, okay, yeah, but what do you want? Because they're always like, I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be stressed. I don't want. Well, if
nobody wants
the
to.
negative doesn't understand the negative. It only understands the thing.
That you're talking about.
So I say, yeah, but what do you want? And they're like, well, I just don't want any stress. I didn't ask what you didn't want. What do you want to get the mind going the right way to focus and expand on that?
That's sick,
Not where
dude.
you are, where you're going. Right?
And everyone takes a victim stance, right?
Not everyone. you
Not
know.
everyone, but I mean a lot of people. That's
Most
the
people
problem.
just aren't aware of those kind of things that
Yeah.
they can be made aware of, and to be able to. But it's like going to the gym. You have to work it out every day and build up that muscle to catch yourself doing it. It's hard to catch yourself.
Yeah.
That's why there's coaching and accountability and mentors that'll catch you and tell you the shit that you don't want to hear. Nobody wants to hear that they're wrong. But to get to the next level, whatever got you there, you got yourself there. But to get here, that takes a whole different thinking, or you would already be there. You don't even know how to get there yet.
So true.
You
People
have to
can
be-
use
you have
this
to
in
be willing
snowboarding
to
too,
be
though.
wrong. Oh yeah,
I mean, this must
That's
be
why
how
you got to
you guys
be willing
get
to
so
crash
good.
and burn.
Yeah.
Over and over again, be wrong and make mistakes over and over again and get back up until you learn everything what not to do.
Yes. The snowboarder that doesn't get back up isn't going to learn that trick.
Like if you mess up, you mess up and you break your bones and you bust your ribs. And then I was like, okay, I know not to do that.
I'm not going to break that rib again.
I'm not going to do that next time, right? But you got to get back up and keep.
Dude, and that's the whole key to, I think, a lot of stuff in life, huh, is getting back up, not being scared to be the dude that has to get back up. Keeping it too safe, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And
Too
that
safe, yeah,
in
in the comfort
snowboarding,
zone.
if I'm safe, I'm not going to go try this trick. I don't want to be the dude falling in front of everybody.
Yeah.
But if you do fall in front of them and I saw you almost do something really cool, I'm going to be thinking about that cool thing I almost saw you do. And you're like embarrassed because you fell, but then you get that trick and then it's like, what's up? So, I mean, you can relate this to snowboarding.
I see everything so clearly now. I remember things like, the people that are on the lift. I saw it today on the lift. The dudes in front of us were like, said something to the dude that was jumping because he skipped a jump or he fell. He fell and then he skipped the next one. They're like, what? And saying stuff, but they're too scared to hit the jump.
Oh, they
never
weren't
gonna hit
actually
that
hitting
jump.
it.
So, and because their subconscious doesn't want to be the person that's getting laughed at.
Yeah.
So they're not.
Because
You're
right. You're jumping right under the chairs, right?
I saw people do it to Chaz Goldemon one time. I saw him under the lift,
Chaz.
and he doesn't play that game.
They were laughing at him?
He doesn't care that people would laugh at him or whatever. He's just dope. Like he's he's a really good snowboarder. And he's willing to crash and burn under that lift over and over again, get laughed at, and he's the one that wins. These people that are laughing at him are never gonna win shit.
Dude, the Hollywood, that's what they call it, right?
Afraid of what other people think about him.
Yeah. So Chaz would just be like, let's go. And that's the person that excels, huh? But they call that a Hollywood line, right? When you're under the chair. And yeah, you heckle people like, I don't even care how sick you are. You're going to get heckled even if you're sick, right? You're going to find a reason to be heckled. So you just do it, right?
Yeah.
And so these kids were too scared. I love that
They're
that
just
mountain.
not gonna.
Yeah, I love that mountain, how you can like see the whole mountain going on at once, basically. He was at Woodward today for everyone listening, Woodward, Park City. You can see everything going on at once. And
Yeah.
it's just what a day up there, dude. It's such a cool place.
It is.
It's imagine being a little kid and having that at your disposal,
We
dude.
didn't have any of that. That's,
Jesus.
I can see why they progress.
Why the kids are so good, huh? So when you were snowboarding, you didn't know, but you were kind of maybe using some of these skills, huh? Or did you not? I don't know.
What skills?
Anything you're working with now, like your mind stuff here.
No, I didn't know any of this. I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing it, but now I do.
You look back.
and I can framework it out for people. If it, in this case, I just kind of did it with like explaining a little bit of snowboarding. But if it's whatever field that they are in, they can't, they can't figure out why they can't get to that next thing.
I mean, it's a hard thing, dude. You get people like worlds beating them down, dude. There's a lot of rough stuff going on out there. Money, everything's
deep,
more expensive.
Bad programming.
Yeah, and so it's just don't focus on those negatives, huh?
And be like I just know it's unprogramming people or unwiring things and wiring it back the empowering way, the right way.
And that's the biggest thing, I guess, huh?
It's like some NLP and stuff and
What's NLP?
neuro-linguistic programming. There's just different like strategies and tactics and mind mapping ways of helping people realize things in different, more empowering
And
ways.
it's all basically taking what was fed to us as a kid and taking it away. So I guess what if you start then? You're a father now. Do you try to start then and not fill them with the negatives? And
It's so.
when you can't stop teachers, they're going to do what they're going to do. But I guess you can find a school that's better. And
I
I
get
don't
more
know.
time. I have I invest more time than teachers get.
yeah,
Lately. But see, you have to know the right things not to say and all that. Right?
Yeah.
Like that takes time investment to personal development, all that self-development stuff and empowering yourself first to be able to help.
yeah, you got to get yourself dialed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think back to high school, dude. There's like one or two teachers in my whole 4-year career that were actually legit. Like they cared about the kids, they cared about the teaching, and they were passionate. But literally one or two, you know what I mean? And it sucks. And the rest of them are just like, I mean, wow, what a waste of time, dude.
Oh my God.
It's crazy, dude.
Well, some people believe there's there's systems out there that are bad programming on purpose. They don't
That's
want,
what
they don't
I was
want-
almost. That's kind of where I was getting, dude. It's almost like it's on purpose because it's so bad, dude.
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's crazy, dude. It's like I heard that maybe it was back. It's not like this anymore, but they wanted to almost train us to be happy with working at a factory, and this is where you're gonna
Now it's
get.
going all over. You know, the information is getting out there really fast. You know, social media. They want a nation of workers, not thinkers. But yeah, it's like, don't ask any questions. Go to work and back. Don't, you know, just pay your taxes. Don't ask any questions. Like,
That's the cycle. I even heard on this one podcast that people in prison have more freedom than people in high school. You know what I mean? Because the way you're just in your day, you know, the way they're onto you and do this. No, you're going to do that. You're going to sit in this room. This is what you're going to read, and it's like it's crazy. It's a wild system, and they didn't do us any favors. I guess
there's
is what I'm
definitely
saying.
systems out there that have been built for people that don't pay attention.
Yeah,
Like, you got to pay attention. It's a critical thing.
to what's going on around you. I
Think
guess.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. I thought, 20 years ago, I thought by now that people would be aware, like more aware that there's bad out there, that, there's agendas out there and stuff that like they have.
There's agendas, dude, and it's psycho. You got to open up. You got to look around, and it's kind of scary, realistically. But if you do what you're doing, I guess, and open your mind and change it, can you work on changing your wiring yourself?
No.
You can't.
I mean,
you need someone to help you.
I shouldn't say that so sure, because I did, but I needed help, not like in a therapy type of way, but I was already open. I wanted to improve. I'm always like looking, how do I get better, faster, more smarter, So you have to want to be like that, maybe to be open, because it's kind of like teaching my little guy 10 years old today. Like, I'm a pro,
Yeah,
I
you're
know
Mark
what
Frank.
I'm saying. And he's like, I got it. I want it. He wants to do it himself.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
He's telling you that he has it.
Adults do that. Same thing. They're like, I got this. It's like, well, every decision you have ever made has led you to where you are right now. And if you're not where you want to be, then you don't know how, or else you'd already be there.
You'd be doing it.
So, you
And
can't.
everybody knows that there's something more they want, like that's crazy, dude. And he was doing that. Luca was like, I'll show you. He's like, dude, I'm a pro. I'll show you what's up.
I was like, okay, but it'll take longer.
It'll take longer.
It takes lifetimes.
So do you actually like take on people and mentor them? Like life coach or do you
depends on different, businesses or strategies or stages or what we're trying to do, even with the,
because
all
I noticed
kinds.
actually some businesses have they pay people to come in. So sometimes you'll do that.
That too, yeah. People ask me to do that. But yeah, I mean, because I just wanted, there's a whole can of worms there, because I wanted to know, okay, that started when, like, internet marketing, and they say in all the wealth books, like, look for the people who have the life that you want, and don't ask your broke friends or family or whatever, or else you'll get those results. So I was looking around, and the thing that used to bug me here in Utah was, you go down 15, there's that golf course. There's these golf courses on the side of the highway. And it's like a weekday, and I was so busy all the time, busy, missing, like, just always busy. And I didn't mind it when I was younger, but then it started to bug me, because these dudes are on the golf course on a Monday. I'm like, how the hell are you? That takes all day. I don't even golf, but I know it takes all day. How are you just chilling? And so I started asking, like, shout out to my, like, Travis, Boosh B, and Derek Tillotson, these guys. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but, like, what do you do? And that was the time when we had sound outerwear and some of the, things in the shops. But the people who couldn't pay their bills were the shops, the ma and pa joints, and then people would go try on the stuff, try on the coats, and then they would go buy it online.
Yeah.
And backcountry could pay their bills. I'm like, I got to figure this out. Like, okay, so what do you do though? They're giggling. I'm like, no, like, okay, but can you show me? And you know, it's like everybody's buying on. I knew everybody's going to buy online. So I'm like, I got to figure this internet marketing stuff because I had already read the wealth books and it says, you know, build assets. And I'm like putting all this stuff together. Okay, I want to know more. I want to know. So, you know, just you start asking questions and people
To
have
the
no
right
problem
people.
telling you.
Yeah.
They like to talk about it, but you have to ask.
That's the biggest thing is
Can't
people
talk
love to
shit.
talk about themselves and their passions, and you got to know that. And
Yeah, and if you talk shit and if so and so and you're a shit talker, then they're not gonna sit there and talk to you and teach you shit.
dude, they're not going to teach you shit. And it's so crazy because sometimes I would get frustrated with you see these people that they're advertising that they're going to teach you how to be rich or whatever. You know what I mean? And you want to learn from them, you want to do it, but then you kind of figure out the way they're getting rich is you buying their program, and that's the whole thing. So it's like they're not really offering anything special. You're just buying into that book that this guy wrote that he took maybe from. He's not as good as the guy that really mainly wrote it.
Well,
So I get caught up on that.
okay,
And I have a
You want
problem
me-
with that.
All right, you want me to?
I'd
explain
love
that?
to, dude, because I get.
Watch this. This is crazy. So there's levels. There's levels to this stuff, right? Like, so our levels of awareness, pretty much. So, like, let's just say, what are you talking about? Like,
Anything.
what you see on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 a.m.
The only dude I see that I've been like, that guy's legit, I see Tony, and I'm like, there's something about that dude. I don't know.
Well,
He's
even
legit.
that people don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't understand, and they
I just
haven't
get a
looked into
vibe
it
that
because
shit's
it's-
legit.
And they think he's motivational, I can talk about, like, I can explain all that too, because I originally went there because I know how he puts people into their peak state, but that's not just what he does. He's not a motivational. People think he's motivational, but they're not going to find out because if they don't invest the time and the money into themselves to go in there and get rewired, and it's so worth it. Or you can sit and watch it. So it reminds me of like, you know, when you're, let's say, you see something on TV, buy my real estate, like you said, buy my real estate book or whatever, right?
I will teach you
Yeah.
how to own 10 houses.
I've heard people say, he's just making money off his book. It's so stupid. And I know because I did it. It's so dumb. So there's levels of people. Watch. Maybe like this level would be like, that's right. Like, he's just trying to make money off the book, or he's making. So they won't buy. They'll just watch it and they'll talk.
Yeah.
Right? And they won't buy the book. So then, okay, one level up would be like, I should buy that book, but they don't. They should. Actually, there's a
don't.
term for this. It's called I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Right? I should do this. I should do that. I should do this. And they end up shooting all over themselves.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
That's
And they
good.
kind of giggle at this stuff, right? And so I should buy that, but they don't do it. They actually do it. Another level up would be like, oh man, all right, and they'll actually do something, but then it costs a certain amount. So like, it costs too much.
Yeah. So
How much
they're
does
out.
it cost? It's not a cost; it's an investment. But they're not looking at it. That's a different
They
perception.
don't think of it as an investment.
It's so freaking worth it. The dude or the woman, or what is the authority of the subject, telling you exactly how they did it. They're doing it either way,
Yeah.
but they can't sell everybody everything and get to the whole world, right? But that could be another. If I teach other people, have a mentality of abundance and share it. So then the next level would be like, all right, I'm gonna get the book, and they'll actually buy the thing, and then it shows up and it just sits there.
Yeah, I've definitely done that, dude.
Right? It just sits there. They don't ever do anything. It just sits
Sure
there.
looks
And then
good
it
over there.
disappears. Some other friend took it. Right? And they never do it.
Or I
And
look
then-
like maybe I'm looking into that shit. 'Cause
right?
It's
And
on
then the
my
next
shelf.
level up would be like, all right, I'm going to read the book. Let me read this thing, put the time investment into the thing and actually and then do it. But they'll never do
The thing.
what the thing says to do. They just
Yeah.
read it like, oh, sick, I should do that someday. Like, right? And then little things will come up like resources. So there's, phrases like that. It's not a matter of resources. It's a matter of being resourceful. Because then you're like, well, I should do it, but I don't have any money. All the excuses come up.
So then you do what you were saying.
See how this stuff splinters
Yeah.
and there's levels and it splinters off into other things so it's like, no, be resourceful and find a way. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. So the next level would be, okay, I'm going to do the thing. And then they go and freaking, I did that. Find a way, come up with the money, do the thing. But here's where, and they do it with snowboarding, they do it with everything else. I've seen people just quit right before they made it.
They're there.
They try one thing, they break an arm, then they're done.
Yeah.
They never go forward. So like someone actually do the thing, and then they won't make any money, and it failed, and they made less than they thought, or like lost money, and then they never try it again. Oh, that's it. It doesn't work.
So the get back up mentality went out the window. Basically,
you're not going to be a master at anything like that. You got to skin your knees. You learn the bike. You got to fall over a couple times, get back up. You're not going to learn it the first.
You learn something every time.
People
too, right?
that are scared to, so same with surfing, man. I see everybody watch surfing and be like, oh, that'd be nice from the beach, and they just lay there. Some people actually go in there and like, oh, that looks fun. I'm gonna try it. And they put their toe in. Oh no,
Too cold.
See, there's levels.
It's so sick, dude.
So then the next person's like, all right, damn, let me try it again, And they start to figure out, man, okay, I messed up that first time. Okay, this time I'm not gonna buy a whole new water heater and hire this person that was too expensive. And we went through that with flipping real estate and all that stuff too. And there's other strategies and other people you can learn from, and then you just have to try it over and be willing to try it over and over again. I lost my life savings 4 times for like. Then there was people that talk shit. Oh, he failed. Those people are too scared to fail that many times, because pretty soon you start to figure out what not to do.
Yeah, you're gonna figure out the way.
There's a book called The Outliers.
Yes, we've talked about that.
Golden Rule.
Yeah.
Right? 10,000 hours or 10 years of practice and training to have specialized skills in any area, and then you're in the money. That's on every level, in every industry.
You put in the time, you're gonna learn eventually.
Yeah.
And also when you read the book, like Rich Dad Poor Dad, that guy did that whatever years ago. Things have changed a little bit, so you got to get your foot in and figure out what's up now. Probably, I'm guessing.
I read that book a little bit later too. Yeah, where it's it's just so anchored in there that you can't have your dreams if you're building somebody else's. And at that time, I was still
he's more real
sponsored
estate,
by
right?
all these big companies, and I'm making other people rich. I'm like, man, I got to make myself rich. I'm gonna keep launching companies
and figuring it out.
Yeah.
Well, and then you figure out you're like a company with several people. You start to realize unless you're that main owner, you're in trouble, kind of. So you start to figure that out.
Yep.
And that's why real estate's good, because you're the dude who's doing it. It's your thing. But people say like, hey, become a landlord, and that's hard.
Then you find out that's hard too.
That's really hard work, dude. Yeah.
Or
do I
should
really want to
outsource?
deal with a squatter?
Yeah, or should I outsource and have somebody that's pro in that area do that? But then they're going to take, okay, but I can figure out,
But probably worth it.
Yeah.
Get that real estate manager.
And
But
then
yeah, so I guess it's
so
about
see how many
learning.
different types of real estate investing and stuff. So you figure out what works, what doesn't, which direction splinter off into, and be specialized in there. But once you get your system down, you can teach other people what you did and make another channel of income that way.
Yeah.
But see,
so the people that have made this book, that I'm like, dude, they're just making money from selling a book. They're gonna put out the book either way, huh? So I got to get over it, and they did make the money, and they're just telling you how they did it.
Yeah, most people they won't do it, and then some people will grab that book, and I do that every time. I'm like, show me, and then I do the thing, and then I'll do it and do it and do it over until I get it down. I see, like, they think you're crazy, but every course that my first course was that I bought was internet marketing. I was like, wow, that's insane. Yeah, and it was a couple $1,000. I didn't make any money, but I was starting to learn something. I bought another one, like learned some stuff there. Bought another, and then I bought a $3,000 thing, and man, I made $8,000 because I bought that. I made $8,000 online. I was like, huh.
You spent 3 and made 8.
Yeah.
So you're starting to see some results.
I mean, what else? Yeah, and just, man, I was like, what else can I learn? This is insane, because now it starts to twist. It's not a cost, it's an investment, because if I put in 3, I get out 8. What if I actually get personal coaching and people are like, what the hell, you spent 20, you gave that person 25 grand, I gave somebody 25 grand personal coaching, I made 60 grand.
Damn.
In 3 months, right? I'm like, huh.
Those people must be real good.
And not 60 grand that just from that year, 50 grand the next year, 60 grand the next year, 80 grand the next year, 120 grand the next year. And I haven't, just from that, what that dude taught me I have an ad right now cracking in Facebook that's just shooting
Makes
things
money.
to me. Yeah.
And now you can get AI doing shit for you. You almost cannot even have to do shit.
AI. Now it's a buzzword. I've been using
Yeah,
AI
that's a buzzword.
for a decade because AI is just Facebook ad working for me, and that's artificial intelligence.
That's the same thing. Yeah,
I've been using that to make money for years.
Yeah, I mean, now it's just a buzzword.
It knows
and you'll
exactly,
buy into it.
so that I don't waste money. It knows exactly what information to put in front of, what people to put certain information in front of. Like, so you're not like, it knows, okay, if I'm selling hamburgers, I don't want to put that information in front of vegetarians.
Yes.
Like that, that's waste money.
And
AI
they
does
have
all
that info.
all the back end of Facebook knows.
And I'm guessing you took a class that told you, okay, find a product. This thing's going to do all the work for you.
It's working
you don't even
for
have
me
to,
right now.
You
I'm
don't
not
even have
working.
to. You don't have to buy the product because someone else ships it for you. And I guess that's crazy shit. You just have to learn the systems, and you've been learning the systems, huh?
Dude,
So that's what
it's
Mark
time
Frank
investment.
does.
It's
Mark
not
Frank
even-
learns the systems and gets after and does the work.
Systems and formulas, yeah. There's a
Damn,
formula
dude.
for everything.
That is sick, dude. That actually puts a lot of perspective. Now there is also people that are scammers, so you do have to be careful. My stepdad got in one of those scenarios, and they target on older people. It sucks.
Oh, yeah.
They're basically like, oh, we have a system where you can get on Amazon, and we set up the company for you. And basically what they're doing is figuring out your bank account and have you make a deposit, and then they figure out how to go back in and take I think he paid him $8K. He was going to have this working store that was going to make him money overnight, and it was a full scam. So you do got to be careful, people. Don't just go willy-nilly out there.
So, see, anybody who, people want to, what people look for, I think these days, they're out there looking for a high level of income with a low level of skill.
Yes, and
And
low
they're
level
never
of
going to
commitment,
find it
time
because it
commitment.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or everybody would be doing it and be
Yes.
a billionaire and gazillionaire.
If it was
All of
easy,
Yeah.
we'd all just have money coming out of our armpits.
Everybody's looking for the easy way. No, man.
They want to spend no
in.
time. They want to, you know what I mean? They want minimal time, minimal money, and just be rich. And it doesn't exist, huh? So you put in the time, and I guess it's finding what programs are good for you, huh? And the key is being that
Everybody's different. They have
self-employed.
different.
Yeah.
If you find a passion, you can find a way through that.
Dude, that's so sick.
Monetize it.
And so you, as a self-employed dude, you spend time doing these classes and programs that interest you, and then just go for it, huh?
Well, I was interested in freedom.
Yeah.
Once I figured
that's the
out,
real key,
man,
right?
I can get paid for doing something I love, and then I was free to do do what I loved, and then I would look at those buildings, how could people sit in there? I'm never gonna go back there. I know the feeling
Yes.
of having someone tell me what to do and being broke. I hated that feeling. I hated, being made fun of for being poor, and I'm never going back there. So that snowboarding was my way out, but I wanted, okay, what's the next stuff, right? So then I'm internet marketing, attraction marketing, email marketing, blogging. These are all things that you can learn. That's 24/7, 24 hours, just going with or without you.
And that's what, when everyone says make money when you sleep, and that's it.
There's that.
Shit's happening.
Yeah, and you can get business and leadership going in other countries where when I go to bed, Australia wakes up. When I go to bed, South Africa wakes up. And some of the things that people had made fun of me from before, man, these are big Wall Street companies that have warehousing set up in 54 different countries. They already have it all set up.
They're
So when
packing, picking and packing,
Yeah.
and sending shit out for
affiliate
people.
marketing. Affiliate marketing is 90%. I knew. See, that's
What's
what
affiliate
I was
marketing?
looking into it back then. Just basically everything. 90% of everything that everybody buys right now is through somebody's link.
Yes.
So if you go to the bottom of Amazon.com or even Walmart, I think now.
Now
or
they have that.
Macy's,
Yeah.
You go down to the tiny type, it says become an affiliate. So
That homie's filling the
depending
Walmart
on-
orders.
as you promote, this is what kind of influencers do now, is you build a following, right, a community, and then you sell to them. So you don't have to make your own stuff. You can get your own personalized, your individual link, and anybody who goes through that link and buys something from that site, you get the commissions. But you don't have to ship anything. There's no overhead. You're not warehousing. It's just
They ship it
smarter.
all
It's
for
more
you.
efficient.
Yeah.
If you're looking for you know,
And you also got to figure out how to get your shit above the other people's, and there's ways to do that as well, huh?
that becomes about skills that you got to learn.
Yeah,
right.
It's not
Work.
just gonna happen.
Yeah, action, work, discipline.
Yeah, dude, that is so sick, dude. Dude, we can probably call it for now if you are really gonna come back.
Yeah,
That pizza's out front too.
no way.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock too. So, dude, fucking dope, Marco.
Yo, damn, MFM, dude. What a G, dude. That dude, I tell you what, man, he's a special human right there. I'm so thankful to have traveled the world with that dude around and around and around. I don't even know how many times, dude. But man, every trip was insane, dude. He's a class act. So we're man, end of part 2 here. Well, we're in Salt Lake City. Marco, we haven't recorded part 3, so there's gonna be some space in between, and we'll get Marco out here. But do me a favor, man. Show Marco that you know what he's doing is appreciated, man. DM him. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your principal. Tell your dog to listen to the podcast. Watch the podcast. Let's boost these numbers, dude. Let's get people listening. Let's show Mark that he's appreciated. It goes a long way, man. Leave comments. Tell him that you like it. If you want, man, DM me with maybe questions for Mark. I'll do what I can. Episode 3. But, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we have an episode 3 and 4. He's got a lot to share. We don't want him to be too long. And we want, in the end, to break into, what he does now and see how we can apply that to whatever you guys are doing, whether it's trying a new trick on a rail, maybe you 4-fist commits, you're going for that heavy rail trick, dude. Let's go, cab 27 or 450. You're working it out. You gotta believe in yourself, dude. And what he applies in his business antics, and he applied his whole career as well, and it's all the same, dude. It all works, and we'll figure out how to take what he's doing now and try to correlate it to what you might have going on and how it can help us all out. The key here is let's all raise each other up, because that's what's up. Remember the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated, and I tell you what, life's gonna be good for you. So do that, live by that. We're all gonna sit and listen to Mark and tune in episode 3 and 4. Who knows how much I don't know how much space will be. I'll try to get him here as soon as possible, though. But give us your feedback, man. Hit up Marco. Love you guys, man. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm out of here. See you on the mountain. Peace. So good, my dogs. You know what I mean? And that goes out to each and every one of you.